Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fable Table, an actual play live stream focused on critical world building, collaborative storytelling, and finding the fun in the John Cena theme song. I'm your host, ApolloNik. Joining me today is the cast of Season 2. Hello, Brian, Andy, John, and Greg. How are you today?
I second that. And I'm doing well.
I would like to third, and unless there's any dissent, the motion passes. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We as a group have decided that Scum and Villainy as a system isn't really serving us well in the storytelling that we want to be doing this season. There's just been a little bit of struggles, as you might have noticed, with kind of moving through and getting everyone kind of caught up with the mechanics. So we are actually going to be switching systems. And so in keeping with the bird-themed episode titles, this one is called Migration, very purposefully. So today we are going to be discussing like how we want to move forward with our storytelling, just kind of like format. Since Scum and Villainy presented like jobs for factions, I just kind of want to have a chat with the players about like, okay, some of our goals have been like to push back against, let me write down what we talked about offline. It was like getting revenge against Aphrodite, and in general revenge on corporations, unite the BLT brothers, and there was also kind of a fourth one, put Loricon down, even though we haven't really seen much of them. But I'm curious from you all, are we really, like, if we are interested in those goals still, how do we want to go about achieving that? Like, in terms of the narrative arc, is there a format you have in mind? Maybe, like, is there a, like, another piece of media that you draw inspiration from when thinking about, like, rebellion in a sci-fi setting? Any thoughts on that topic before we get into, like, porting our characters over and all that?
I mean, I feel like a lot of rebellion is built on symbolic gestures and efforts, so I don't necessarily think that we might be running the whole rebellion ourselves, but, some sort of major symbolic victory might be a good inciting force for, breaking capitalism, if that's the intention.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
As Rumble put it, perhaps a Star War.
Yeah, Star War, if you will.
I've always found Star Wars very bizarre, especially like starting in episode 4, where there is already a Rebel Alliance, and we like literally never get to see how that alliance is formed.
You didn't start with the Phantom Menace and go chronologically?
Okay, but there's separatists. There's separatists in episodes 1, 2, and 3. That's it.
Guys, so Phantom Menace was the best Star Wars movie.
My God.
Can we all agree on that first before we move on?
Here, and we're gonna keep moving forward. I've actually been watching the new show on Disney Plus, Andor, and it is, in fact, my favorite piece of Star Wars fiction thus far.
Don't spoiler it, please.
I will not
I'm waiting
be spoiling
to call out to binge it with the wife.
Yes, it's very, very good.
What I hear.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just curious, like, if anyone has any preferences or thoughts around, like, okay, do you all want to, like, just join a rebellion force? Do you want to kind of be doing your own thing?
I think we would benefit greatly from having a tie into the narrative.
Yeah.
Rather than be solely focused, because we in the previous 4 sessions we're kind of just rebels without a cause doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's pursue vague revenge against the Aphrodite Corporation, and maybe we'll run into things along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't a lot of structure, and I feel like we can do well with like a hierarchy of sorts, of like, we are a squad of a pirate faction or some other kind of rebel group, and aren't the only ones pursuing our mission.
Right.
And then we can have, you know, all sorts of tools like, oh, who are the ones in charge? Is this all just some corporate cabal running the business to get revenge? Like, there's a lot of play you can have with just like, there are dudes who contact you to tell you to pursue these objectives.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, how do you go about doing that is where the, like, players come in.
Right, yeah. So how do you, like, does that jive with the rest of you, or are there any other thoughts on that topic?
I think it would be nice to have some type of common purpose. Like maybe a common struggle or strife or decision that has to be made across this entire area. I like what John's saying about being a smaller part of a larger faction, but maybe something like right now our common purpose is corporations suck, but that's very vague.
Yeah.
Like a common like problem across the sector that slowly creeps into the narrative as we go along that we can unify behind would be nice.
Yeah.
Or unify against, or unify parallel to. We can make whatever choice we want, but something there that makes us make a moral decision or a personal decision or several, where we don't even have to be on the same side of the decision, just that creates conflict in the story.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we can definitely do that, especially given John's idea of kind of like building you all as to being a part of something else. But then also giving you all some agency to make some decisions around some problems. Is anyone not feeling good about that direction? Or have other differing opinions? Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I think,
go ahead.
I think it's also, I was just going to say, I think, common enemy is a good singular unifier, even if it's something nebulous that we can't necessarily fight right away.
Yeah.
But something that's a little more specific than just corporate greed as a conceptual enemy. We need an Andrew Ryan or a
I think
Lex Luthor or some rich asshole who's pulling strings.
That sounds good. And I think I've alluded to it in the fiction with Vorex. Like I've placed a lot of that in there. And I think one mistake I might have made was build it up as a mystery and not just drop it drop that knowledge bomb very early to provide that kind of narrative direction. So I think when we pick up with play, I think we may have a knowledge drop or some sort of significant time jump to kind of move the characters forward from like we're doing our own thing to joining a cause.
I like that.
Yeah. So we can talk offline a bit more about what that shift will look like specifically. But I just wanted to have a quick conversation about the format. So especially since our new system, Stars Without Number, is really made to be very, very general. And it does have its own fiction that you can use, which is very interesting. It's set in the year 3200 or so. There's been this great big silence, and the disparate worlds and sectors of space have just been completely cut off from one another, and interstellar travel has been impossible. And suddenly that has stopped. And so it's very much about sandbox exploration. But the rules are also for this system are meant to be very broad so that you can fit it to whatever theme and tone you want in a sci-fi setting. So speaking of, for those of you who may not be familiar with Stars Without Number, and for our players who maybe haven't even touched on the rules yet, Stars Without Number is by Kevin Crawford, so it is very, very similar to Dungeons and Dragons. It is a DC system, so most of your rolls are action rolls that I'm going to set a difficulty rating for. You're going to pick one of your attributes and one of your skills, combine the modifiers and roll. The only difference being that instead of a d20, like in Dungeons and Dragons, we'll be rolling 2d6 and adding modifiers like in Dungeon World. So, you know, numerically it's a little tighter, but mechanically it's pretty much the same. The action system for combat is a little more broad, and instead of magic, they have different kind of like psychic groups of skills that people can use if they build their character into a psychic class. The system also has room to play like aliens, but I don't think are going to be playing any aliens, at least for now. Yeah, so it's that's kind of a brief overview of the system, but we're going to work on porting our characters over right now. So for those of you playing the game with me right now, character creation starts on page 4 in the book, which is a great place to put that in a role-playing game book. So yeah, we'll be kind of going over this the character creation process. And I'm going to have everyone make their characters and kind of port them over from Scum and Villainy. So we'll be taking some liberties with our character creation today. And I think at the end of this, I'm going to encourage everyone to level up to level 2 as well. I believe Brian has already made his character because he got bored or had some free time or something.
Brian?
Yeah.
Sorry. I needed to learn the system. Best way to do that's to create a character. So
that's true. That's true. So yeah, let's kind of go over this. The first thing that we'll do, everyone is going to pick a character sheet. I have some blanks here. John, why don't you take the expert? Dax, you can take the warrior. That's Greg. And then Andy, you can take the psychic sheet, but we'll change that from psychic to something else. Probably expert.
What is an expert?
Okay,
when I read it, I saw a warrior and adventurer class.
Yeah, so there are 4 classes. There's 3 main ones and then a 4th kind of catch-all. So there are experts, which are just generally like people just good at something, like a skilled laborer. You know, that could be like a doctor, a lawyer, a technician, mechanic, that kind of thing. Warriors are like they are, you know, military. They have some sort of training in combat. And then psychics are people with psychic powers. The 4th class is adventurer, and that's kind of I don't fit neatly into just one of those. I in fact have 2 of those other classes. So you kind of flex into 2 classes. Like you could be a adventurer who is both a psychic and a warrior, or an expert and a psychic. So the first thing you'll do is kind of pick between those. Let's see.
I would like to be a warrior.
Personality.
Okay. Actually, choosing your class is technically step 6, so we can actually wait on that.
Let's wait on that.
So the other thing I want to put out there for you all is if you are feeling like you aren't happy with your current character and want to create a new one, like we can absolutely do that here if you want. And maybe later you think about that and maybe I'm dropping that on you a little too late to give you time to consider. But yeah, let's just go through the process of creating characters, and if you decide you want to roll up a different character, we can absolutely do that. So as Brian has done, the first thing that we are going to do is roll our attribute scores. So much like in Dungeon World, and then also like in Dungeons and Dragons, we have six attributes: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So everyone is going to roll 3d6 6 times, and those will be your 6 attribute scores. Or you can use a standard array that is presented in the book, and the standard array is, and I should switch scenes here. The standard array is, oh, that's a YouTube link. Why aren't you copy pasting? The standard array is 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, and 7. If you roll your skills randomly, you can take any of them and shift it to a 14. Usually people move their lowest number to a 14.
Alrighty.
Oh, Andy's going.
Andy jumping in there. Let's
Andy,
go.
That's
if you click the yeah, you can just hit up arrow and enter. There you go. Wow.
Wow.
Those are some great
Holy
numbers.
Gambler.
Nice one.
So I'm putting those in as the base or the boost of the
As the base.
The base.
the base. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
and
12's
since you rolled again, you can pick one attribute score and change it to a 14 if you like.
Oh my God.
Those are
Andy.
some
Be a great
really
character.
good stats.
I like the idea that he has a 9 constitution. He's like a little weak.
Okay, yeah. Then feel free to change like your 10 or your 11.
Look who's got some fucking charisma for once in this game. So,
Yeah. So, yes.
excellent.
I think you can move them around as well.
Yeah, you can
right?
move them around, Andy. You don't have to assign them in that order.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, go
Is
for
that
it.
going to be our house rule? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to
Wait,
go, Greg?
Is what
Do you
our
want me
house
to go?
rule?
Is moving the numbers around our house rule, because by stars without number rules as written, it's down the line.
Oh.
To
Roll
generate
it-
a character's attributes, roll 3d6 6 times and assign the results in order to strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom,
I
charisma.
mean, you can live your life, or you can follow the rules.
Let's do it.
I feel like we've
I wanna live
established
my
our
life.
characters, so if you want to move stuff around to make it fit what you
Okay.
add,
then go ahead and move
Yeah.
them around. I think that's fair. I just wanted to establish that that's what we were doing.
like if Dax rolled a 3 for strength, I feel like that would be inappropriate. And that
I
would
feel like that's a good
All right.
fix for this.
yeah.
I'm rolling. I love gambling.
Do it, John.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh, that's pretty
Not bad,
good.
not
We
bad.
got a lot of higher scores there.
10, 10, 9.
So really quickly, and I'll show this for the viewers. This is on page 6. So I need to jump way up to the top on this PDF.
14, 15.
The attribute scores.
to the PDF is 10 of the PDF page number.
What's that?
Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
The page number is not the PDF page number.
Correct. Yeah, I
Yeah.
always refer to the page number of like if this were a physical book, like what you would see in the
Got it.
corner.
Right
So attribute scores are generally very, very wide. So like an 8 to a 13 is a +0. A 14 to 17 is +1, and the highest you can go, an 18 is +2. So these are a lot more similar to like the Dungeon World modifier conversion than Dungeons and Dragons. So like even Andy with his really high 17 still only has a +1, and everything else is still +0. So you should not
That
expect
being
your
said, the
Yeah.
17 is very valuable because when you level up, you can spend points to increase your attribute. And
yes,
so you'll have a very cheap 18 if you want it.
yeah, exactly. Cool. So John, you have some pretty good stats there as well.
Thanks.
Let me. I'm going to show everyone Brian's rolls here. Brian rolled an 8, 9, 9, 12, 13, 16, and he converted the 8 to a 14, of course, because he's a pro gamer.
Yep.
Nice. Those are also some pretty good stats.
Alrighty.
I'm
Is it my
pretty happy
turn?
with them.
It is your turn.
I believe it is.
All right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5,
Oh.
6.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
Perfect.
the question is, are you keeping the 4, Greg?
Yeah.
That would be a
Four's
4
going in wisdom.
intelligence if you stuck with your method.
Well, if we're rearranging them, the 4 is going in wisdom.
Hmm.
The 6 is turning into a 14, and it's going into strength.
Nice.
No. Yes, it's going into strength. The 2 12s are going into dex and con. That leaves me with a 7 and a 10. 10 charisma, 7 int.
Sounds good.
Okay.
For reference, while Andy and John are figuring out how to distribute theirs, for Sunny D, I put my 9 in strength, my 16 in dexterity, my 12 in constitution, intelligence 13, wisdom 9, charisma 14.
Very nice.
And I have chosen an expert class, which we'll be getting to in a minute, I think.
Yeah, we will. Cool. Okay. So, we have these sheets, which are in Roll20, are very automated, and they will do a lot of stuff for you. For example, when you level up, it will update your saving throws for you. And I don't remember if there's anything else that it automatically updates, but I remember that being very, very useful because your saving throws are just based on your level, as well as your stats. Anyway, okay, so step 2 is mark down attribute modifiers, which the sheet does for us. And then third is everyone picks a background. These are on page 9. Again, 9 in the corner of the page. Choose one that most closely reflects your hero's past experiences. You gain the skill listed under the background name at level 0, which equates to an ordinary working knowledge of it. So you'll note that all of your skills by default are at -1. This system has, oh wait, hang on. Are they at, yeah, they're at -1.
Yep.
So -1 means you just have no skill in it. Level 0 is a basic competency, such as being an ordinary practitioner of that skill. Level 1 is experienced professional in the skill, clearly better than most. Level 2 is a veteran expert, one respected even by those with considerable experience. Level 3 is master, likely the best on the planet. And level 4 is superlative expertise, one of the best in the entire stellar sector. So when you see all these -1s, don't get scared. That is intended. And having -1s and 0s is to be expected. A lot of your rolls are going to come with -1 modifiers as a level 1 or 2 character. So when you pick your background, it's going to list a specific skill or skills that you move up to level 0. So for example, Brian, what did you do for Sunny D at this point? What was your background?
Criminal.
You chose criminal. Nice. So looking at that, well, that's on page 11. We'll scroll to that really quickly.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was chewing.
Oh, you're good. So your free skill was sneak. Very nice.
That is correct.
Okay.
And then you are given the option of 2 different things after their free skill, I believe, if that's correct.
Yes, you can either roll a d6 and a d8 and get those from that list, or I think you can pick one specifically. Let me read this. Decide whether to roll for additional skills or pick them. If you pick skills, you can choose 2 more skills from the learning table for your background, with the exception of entries that say any skill, which you may not pick. You cannot pick entries from the growth table. So if you choose to pick them, you have to choose them from the D8 column, or if you roll them, you roll a D6 and a D8, which means that you can get like big upgrades if you just let the dice decide. If you're not sure what to pick, just take the quick skills listed for your background.
For Sunny D, I chose, since we had already created the character, to select 2 from the learning. I picked, I believe, talk and program. Program being similar to hack or scum and villainy, and talk being similar to sway. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of different backgrounds here, and they come with like some really nice descriptors. Does anyone else have like one that really comes to their mind for their character?
I think Dax is a soldier.
Hell yeah. Soldier. What do we got here? I should say also, if you are feeling like you'd like to take your character in a different direction from the fiction we've already established of them, since this is a different system and it kind of frames things differently, feel free to kind of like let go of something that you created for your character if you want to kind of like shift that around. So like For example, Dax, like we had him as that, MK Ultra program experiment with the way power, which could really fit neatly into the psychic class. So you definitely could have taken adventure, Greg, and like done, partial psychic.
I'm still
partial...
gonna go down that route.
Okay.
It's just that he's a survivor first, and maybe or he's a soldier first. Like he was a survivor of this MK Ultra program. He's trained to be a super soldier. He has soldiering skills. He doesn't necessarily have psychic skills. He mostly has a crippling addiction to
Sure.
liquid sky.
Yeah.
As we play, we might tap into the scream or something, and get some extras. But for at least a character creation, I think soldier is just more fitting.
Fair.
And I think that the warrior class is more fitting than the adventurer.
Yeah. All of that
because he's
was
not really a hybrid yet.
Yeah, all of that was simply to say, like, if there was something you wanted to let go or change from what we had already established, you're more than welcome to do so. Okay, so soldier, which allows you any combat skill.
I'm gonna take shoot for my first skill.
Yeah, so there's a variety of those: shoot, stab, punch. I think those are it. I don't remember if any of the other ones were combat skills, but you're taking shoot, which I think makes perfect sense since you have a sniper rifle.
I'm also supposed to take 2 from the skill list or from the learning list of soldier.
Yes. Either you can take 2 from learning, or you can roll, I believe it's 1 from growth and 1 from the learning column if you just want to let it be random.
The thing about the growth stat, the growth column, is if I roll on it. No, I don't want to roll. I'm going to take an additional combat for punch.
Okay.
And I am going to take.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Greg, I interrupted you, but I'm looking at the rules and it says if you pick 2, but if you roll 3 times.
Correct.
Oh.
That is correct.
Which might affect somebody else. I'm sorry, Greg, I interrupted you. Please continue.
And I'm going to take exert.
Okay, sounds good.
Very good choices.
Yes, it's right here. Number 5. If you choose to roll for skills, you can roll up to 3 times, dividing your rolls between the growth and learning tables as you wish. Ooh. Okay, I should have kept reading. Nice. Okay. All right.
Andy, do you know what you want to do? Go for it.
Is growth and learning the 2 numbers after each skill?
So they're the different columns, and they are, growth is only accessible. The growth column is only accessible to you if you choose to roll your skills. Whereas if you want to specifically pick skills, you must choose from the learning column.
Have you picked your background yet, Andy?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I figured technician made the most sense for lettuce.
Yeah.
So I took I made fix, exert, and notice zeros.
So So that is like a default option. If you don't feel like exert and notice are appropriate for your character, you can either pick 2 from the learning column, or you can roll 3 dice and let the dice decide what skills you improve in. If you choose to roll, there's a chance like on the growth table, you can get like +2 to physical or mental stats. So by letting the dice decide, you can get access to like better skills if you want to, be random and cool.
I'm gonna be random and cool, Nick. Don't worry.
Is there a clear delineation between a physical stat versus a mental stat?
Yeah.
Strength, Dex, Con are physical stats. Int, Wiz, Charisma are mental stats.
Right, but I believe the skills are divided in that way. So, physical skills. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. So sorry, where it says +1 any stat, that's referring to the 6 stats, not the skill counter.
It is for skills, not for your attributes.
Okay. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I know. It.
Okay.
I'm trying to find where it delineates between physical and mental skills.
Maybe I'll not take the random one and just start with the learning column.
Okay. Sounds good.
So where it says for technician, it says learning D8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I rolling 1d8 to just determine
No,
which of these?
since you're picking skills, just pick any two of those to upgrade to a 0.
Okay, got it.
If you decide to pick fix, that means you upgrade it from a 0 to a 1, I believe,
Yes.
which makes that main skill you have better, or you can diversify and pick different skills and level the skills up when you level up.
Exactly.
Or I can just keep exert and notice, which are the
Yeah. And if you need descriptors of the skills, those are on page 8. So for example, administer is not a common term in any role-playing game, but administer on page 8 says manage an organization, handle paperwork, analyze records, and keep an institution functioning on a daily basis. It's bureaucracy, organizational management, legal knowledge, government agencies, etc. So you, Andy, would be high on administer.
So Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Lettuce maybe not so much. Yeah. So feel.
I think lettuce would have an extra point in fix. Does the -1 mean that you literally can't do it, or just
No,
that
you absolutely
there's-
can. You can perform all of these actions. It just comes with a -1 penalty to your roll.
Got it. Cool.
So you're taking fix and what else?
Fix and notice,
Okay.
and I'll put exert back to a -1.
Perfect.
Um,
All right.
I have the psychic skills and techniques listed, because that was the sheet you recommended I
Oh,
grabbed. Do
I'm
you know
sorry.
how to change that to the expert ones, or
Yeah, I'll update that on your sheet really quick. Greg, what were you gonna ask?
It seems irrelevant now, but Andy was considering maybe rolling, and I wanted to turn your attention to page 9, the paragraph just above the table. It says D20 background. It describes the roles on the growth table. It is affecting your attributes.
Okay. Interesting. Why does it have? Oh, I see.
Bonus that applies to any stat can be applied to any attribute. So yeah, any stat does go to attributes.
Same with physical, same with mental.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that was huge. All
So
right.
if you wanted to roll for more attributes, that is an option.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. John.
Yes,
What are you-
John is here.
What
He
is John doing?
is a physician because I want to keep my clown doctor, Norm. I've grown attached to him.
Excellent.
So for free, he gets heal, which gets bumped up to a 0. Right?
Yep.
That's how it
For
works.
free, you get heal up to a 0.
And then I get to choose how many I roll, or I get 3 rolls for this, and I choose which column I want to roll.
Yes.
on, right?
You get 3 rolls and you choose which column for each die. I think you should just either, I mean, it'll be really obvious in your rolls, but declare what column you're rolling for.
So I'm going to do my D8 first, which is an 8, which is trade, which I like it.
Oh, nice. Trade says convince other people of the facts you want them to believe. What they do with that conviction may not be completely predictable. Roll it to persuade, charm, or deceive others in conversation. That seems appropriate.
Can we just rename it gaslighting, please?
Yep. I'll
We're gonna
reprogram that for
roll
John.
now.
Roll
Is a
growth.
4, which
Okay.
gives me a +2 to mental.
Okay. And apparently that is intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Okay.
Yes.
Training skills.
See, I don't know what my attributes do yet.
Like, when you roll a heal, what do you roll it based off of besides just skill level?
It depends. In this
cool.
system, we will always decide, is this an intelligence heal? Is this a strength heal? Is this
Love
a
it. charisma
heal? Charisma heal
Love
would
it.
be like, doing therapy.
Inside manner.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
hmm
And then I have to decide now if
Sorry.
do I want another skill or do I just want better stats?
So where did you put your +2 mental stat?
I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll look at it after I'm done rolling. I'm gonna choose growth again. That seems fun.
Okay.
I don't exactly know about skills. A 1. That
Plus
is
one
+1 to any stat.
In a
Okay.
stat. Yes. So again, that can be strength, dex, con, int, whiz, or charisma.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
Okay. While John is deciding, we will keep moving forward. So at this point is where you choose your class, representing those talents you have that are most relevant to an adventurer's lifestyle. If your hero isn't well described by warrior, expert, or psychic, you can choose adventurer and mix your class abilities. Each class gets different foci representing some of their talents. So let me go over each of those really quickly. And I will find those here right after that. So character classes. Expert. Your hero is exceptionally good at a useful skill. Doctors, cat burglars, starship pilots, grifters, technicians, or any other concept that focuses on expertise in a non-combat skill should pick the expert class. Experts are the best at such skills and gain more of them than other classes do. Warriors, I'm going to skip over some of their fiction here. Combat in Stars Without Number is extremely dangerous, but your hero has the talents to survive situations that would kill a less martial adventurer. A gifted purveyor of violence, you get to pick an extra combat-related focus associated with your special brand of havoc. While a character of any class can take these special combat talents, you get this additional pick and a better natural hit bonus than other heroes of other classes. So you gain free levels in combat-focused stuff. Warriors are lucky in combat. Once per scene, as an instant ability, you can either choose to negate a successful attack roll against you or turn a missed attack roll you made into a successful hit. You can use this ability after the dice are rolled, but it cannot be used against environmental damage. You also gain 2 extra minimum HP at each character level. They also get bonuses to attack rolls. Whereas experts gain free levels in stuff that are non-combat focused. Once per scene as well, they can re-roll a failed skill check, taking the new roll if it is better. They also get bonus skill points when they level up that they can spend on non-combat and non-psychic skills, or save them for later. And then finally, psychics. Is anyone interested in playing a psychic? Greg, you said you might do the adventure and flex.
Eventually, I might tap into some psychic powers.
Okay.
One of my long-term projects is to do some lucid dreaming and stuff. So we're on a path. We're on a path to maybe pick some of that up for Dex, but at the time being, I think we can ignore them.
Yeah. So unlike warriors or experts, you're capable of learning psychic disciplines, which are listed on page 28. Just as a brief interest, they are biopsionics, metapsionics, precognition, telekinesis, telepathy, and teleportation. And also, this is our story. If we want to invent one and homebrew some stuff, we can totally do that. So you get psychic bonus skills, and then you have this thing called effort that you use to fuel your psychic abilities. Kind of like a mana system, sort of. And then adventurers get the option between partial expert, partial psychic, partial warrior, and they get to pick 2 of these.
Oh.
So Brian, what did you pick?
I picked expert for Sunny D.
Excellent.
Do you want to go through what I selected?
Yeah, so you gain a free level in non-combat related in a non-combat focus related to your background. Most concepts will take a specialist in their main skill. Specialist in your main skill let me just pull up my character from my Stars Without Number game that I play on Mondays.
That's what I took if you want to select it.
Yeah, okay, let's not look at my character, let's look at yours. Let me sort it around here on
your plethora of sheets.
My mess of sheets. Okay, I might just have to close people's to get it. Sunny D. There we go. So you took expert in
Sneak.
Excellent.
You're remarkably talented in a particular skill. And by taking it at level 1, I gain a non-combat, non-psychic skill as a bonus, and I get to roll 3d6 and drop the lowest die for all skill checks in this skill.
All skill checks. Nice.
Yep.
And when you level that up, you can increase the number of die that you get, which is really cool.
Increase it to 46 and then drop the 2 lowest.
Perfect.
So it really increases your ability to succeed. If you look at your character sheets under Sneak, then I have it leveled to a 0, but on the right-hand side, there is a drop-down where I now have 3 dice that are rolled anytime that I am rolling Sneak.
Oh, I see. The drop-down to the right, where it goes like Ask, it shows your modifier, and then 2. Yeah. For you, it's 3, because you get... Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
So if I asked for a dex and then rolled it, I don't know how to roll the skill.
If you just click... Oh.
I don't see a clickable button. I think it just might be we grab 3d6 dice and just roll it.
One sec. Let me look at these sheets.
It says to ask.
What that means is ask what attribute to use.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since it says that, wouldn't it
right,
have
but
like a prompt?
Skill, attribute, choice.
I mean, I'll try. I'm trying to ask dex, but it just puts the dex in there. But I don't know if there's a rollable button somewhere.
Okay, left. Show and train. Query for modifiers. Yes. I thought.
Oh, you hit skills and then you like click the numbers in the bar.
Oh, here. Really quick, Brian. So you're in the top right corner. You are in edit mode with that yellow box with the pencil. So if you unclick that, now. Oh, sorry. We're both doing it. Now click Sneak, and it should ask you what attribute you want to use.
Oh, neat.
Oh, yours is actually already programmed to be Dex.
Cool.
I just switched it.
Yeah.
Okay. Technical problem averted.
Yeah.
Nice. So I rolled 3d6, dropping 1. I rolled 2 5s and a 2. So I ended up with a 10 plus my 1 in Dex.
Nice.
Good. I'll put that back to ask.
Very cool. Okay. So, foci, I feel like I kind of breezed over that. Foci are kind of like your moves or like features. They're kind of like bonus abilities or benefits, or like how we had different like skills in Scum and Villainy. So they're kind of like bonuses that are granted to you by your character class. Okay, so you took that as your foci. You chose a foci representing the side talents. You can pick one level of a focus of your choice. Characters with the expert class or the partial expert feature of the adventure class get one level of a non-combat, non-psychic focus for free. They can spend both. Oh, I see. Experts get a second foci. So your second foci was Star Captain, it looks like.
I gained lead as a bonus skill. And when I'm leading the ship in any ship combat, we get 2 extra command points at the start of each turn, which essentially is, I believe, used as things you can do in a combat action.
Yes. Characters get to declare actions or like where they are at in the ship, kind of like what they are attending to. And then that generates action points or command points that we as a group get to spend doing ship actions. So that is what command points refers to. Yes. Cool. So you are a Star Captain. Fantastic. So again, as an expert, you were granted an additional foci, which is fantastic. Okay, so the foci for the rest of you are listed starting on page 20
or 19 if you want the choosing like the whole blurb.
Yes, yeah, there's like a half page dedicated to like talking about it. So again, your foci will be wrapped up in kind of what class you declare. So does anyone else know what class they want to decide, or at this point does anyone have any questions? I know that this part in particular might be a little confusing.
I don't have any questions, but I have thoughts about how I'd like to build Dax a little bit, so
Sure.
I can jump in.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Dax is going to be a warrior with a soldier's background. He was an MK Ultra experiment to become a super soldier after all, and I think it just fits him very nicely. As a warrior, one of his main perks is that he gets to choose a foci that a combat-oriented focus that is associated with my background. I would like to choose close combatant with that. We have seen in the past that our super soldier training taught us the mystic arts of drone killing kung fu, and I think close combatant just fits that mold very nicely. So at level 1, I gain any combat skill as a bonus skill. I've chosen punch so that I can get 1 in punch.
Punch.
Yeah, I am a one punch man right now. And I can use pistol-sized ranged weapons in melee without suffering penalties for the proximity of melee attackers. I also ignore shock damage from melee assailants, even if I am unarmored.
Okay.
Which I also think is pretty nice in comparison to the mystic armor, the Battleborn trait that I had taken in the previous game. So I also am, as the class of the warrior, I'm lucky in battle. You've kind of already talked about that, and get some extra hit points. As my knack focus, I get to just choose one, as every character does. I choose gunslinger because I have a gift with a gun, and I've got that fine sniper rifle that I've used multiple times to this point. So at level 1, I gain shoot as a bonus skill, which will also take that up to a +1.
Nice.
And when I can draw or holster a stowed range weapon as an on-turn action.
Yes.
So I can get to my guns a lot quicker than I normally would be able to.
Yeah. So for really quickly, the phrase on-turn action just basically refers to free actions. You can do as many of them as make fictional sense during a turn of combat, which, like D&D, is supposed to be a 6-second turn.
Correct. Yeah. So I can gunsling out my weapons at a moment's notice and use them in the same turn.
Nice.
I also get a little bonus to damage.
Yeah. So yeah, from your shoot skill, that's really cool.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So as Andy might have noticed, and I think he brought this up before, he saw that like psychic skills and techniques was open. If you just click the blue arrow while in the edit mode of your character sheet, you can just like minimize that. Same goes for gear and even like your foci. If you don't want to look at all of your foci, you can just collapse that.
My issue is that I can't change it to the expert skills and techniques. It's stuck on the psychic one.
You'll want to go to the class at the top, I think, and just change it from warrior.
It's expert, isn't it?
It is. I did
or
change
it from psychic to expert, right?
It was
No, he's on expert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me take a look here.
I don't really see a way to change that.
Did that fix your problem?
So you're saying you can't access some of the foci?
No. What? No, I can have the foci I need. Below that, where it says psychic skills and techniques, where it says biopsionics, metapsionics, cognition, I can't get rid of those.
So every character sheet is going to have that section. You can just minimize it like that.
Yeah.
Got it. I misunderstood. Okay, I
Sorry.
thought that was like that I had like the wrong
No, you're
framework of sheet. Okay,
good. You're good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, adding. Continue with what you were working on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we just wrapped up with Dax's foci.
Yeah.
So we are on either lettuce or norms right now. Are you feeling ready to go, Andy?
Sure. I've already picked Tinker and Wanderer.
Great. Nice.
I think it fits into the existing lore of expert gets a second foci, right? Did I understand that correctly?
Yes, an extra non-combat, non-psychic foci, which you did. So yeah, why did you pick, like, what does Tinker do and why did you pick it?
Tinker, you have a natural knack for modifying and improving equipment as given with the rules on page 100. I'll look at those in a second. Level 1, gain fix is a bonus skill. Your maintenance score is doubled, allowing you to maintain twice as many mods. Both ship and gear mods cost only half their usual price in credits, though pre-tech salvage requirements remain the same. Level 2, go ahead.
Yeah, so this system has it has a huge focus on various tech levels. It's again like the fiction as defined in the book that it gives you if you want to use it is like all these different star systems have just been isolated from one another. So there are worlds that are literally like cavemen, you know. John, what was your recent caveman campaign?
Mm-hmm.
What?
You had a caveman focused D&D game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our characters could literally, like, in that fiction of Stars Without Number, you could come across people that are literally like Homo sapiens, like in caves with fires and sticks. Or you could come across people that are in like a Renaissance, like steam power. Or there are people with power that is like their tech is indistinguishable from magic. So there are tech levels, also known as like TL1 through TL6, and pre-tech salvage is in reference to one of those tech levels. So we're not going to worry too much about that. All the tech in our setting is going to be TL4 with some TL5 and maybe once or twice a TL6 item or feature here. Anything like way powered would be considered TL5 because way power is not really that well understood. And maybe if some aliens arrive from the core of the galaxy, they may have some TL5 or 6 stuff. So anyway, that's just to clarify some of the terms. Okay, cool. So Tinker will allow you to mod gear, mod the ship, save some money. Fantastic. You also chose Wanderer.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Does gain fix is a bonus skill? Does that mean I add an additional point to fix, which is already at +1? Okay, so move it to +2.
Damn, you are a fixer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Wanderer, your hero gets around as part of life on the road. They've mastered a number of tricks for ensuring their mobility and surviving the inevitable difficulties of a vagabond existence.
Oh, perfect.
Gain survive as a bonus skill.
Nice. So you can tick that up.
Hero.
Perfect.
You can convey basic ideas in all the common languages of the sector. You can always find free transport to a desired destination for yourself and a small group of friends, provided any traffic goes to that place.
Mm-hmm.
Finding this transport takes no more than an hour, but it may not be strictly legitimate means of travel. Level 2, it can forge, scrounge, or snag travel papers and identification for the party with a 1d6 hours of work.
Right. But you don't have level 2 yet.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that's where I'm headed.
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, again, with this system, it like assumes that there's lots of aliens and also human worlds where there's lots of like other dialects. That's not really the case in our fiction. So what I'll say is that given like your character's various backgrounds, you can talk to like people on different planets, especially like different corporations as well. Whether that is laborers or management, and they will like feel comfortable talking with you, I think is what that would mean. I want to award your choice, and it provides a mechanical advantage that we don't have. So I want to kind of grant you something else. So feel free to like edit that and make a note or remind me of it when we are in fictional moments where that might come up.
I will do. I figured that made sense since I rolled a 17 for charisma, that sort of fit with that idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that plays very well into it. Cool. All right. So, yes.
The in your, I might be getting ahead of myself, but I was looking at the equipment packages.
Uh-huh. We are getting ahead
Andy.
of ourselves there.
Okay, my bad.
Chill out.
Continue.
It's my turn, Andy.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Andy, it's my turn. Let me have a go at this, okay?
All right. What the fuck is Norm doing?
I am an adventurer, Nick. I liked looking at it. It made sense to me. Because Norm, he's a bit of a rapscallion. He's got a history with assassins. As thus, I have decided to pick adventurer, taking the diplomat part as a partial expert. Partial experts get the first blip of an expert, but nothing else. So I can't like re-roll my thing like Shadow can,
Right.
nor can I get cool stuff. What's it? Once per scene re-rolled, a failed one.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can't get anything cool like that, and I'm gonna be a little hodgepodge gremlin guy. But I can also be a partial warrior and not die immediately, which I'm interested in doing. Both mechanically and because Norm apparently knows how to work with bombs and explosives and also is friends with assassins.
Apparently. Yes.
The casual, it is what it is.
Okay.
Tyra,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
may
I
have
like
been
that.
my instructor in some fashion.
Ooh, I do like that. So talk to me
And-
about what diplomat and assassin do.
So, Diplomat, from what I read, I first gain talk as a bonus action, and I can speak all the languages common to the sector and can learn new ones to a workable level in a week, becoming fluent in a month. I reroll ones on any skill check dice related to negotiation or diplomacy.
Okay.
And although I'm not nearly as charismatic, I am quite wise, and maybe I can work that into my conversational skills.
Okay.
Assassin, however.
Actually,
Yes.
really quickly, John, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, what's up?
So that was gain talk is a bonus skill, not a bonus action. So your talk should go up to a 0.
Yes. I said action. I don't know why I said action. There we go.
All good.
Thank you so much.
And also for you, like, again, languages is a weird thing for us since everyone speaks the same language. But again, that like familiarity, comfortableness talking with different types of people.
Yeah.
Feel free to remind me that you have that in scenes where you're talking to like
I like
a
to
laborer.
imagine no matter who my patient is, whether they're on the highest of the pecking order or the lowest of the hive scum,
Mhm.
I can negotiate with them and help them out no matter what, and they'll see me as like, oh, you actually can understand me.
Right. Or
rather
people
than
see you
a-
as an authority, as a doctor.
Yeah, sure.
I think we can frame scenes and frame this skill that way too. Okay, assassin.
Assassin. I am also practiced at sudden murder, apparently, and have certain advantages in carrying out an execution attack, which seems cool, but I don't know what that does yet, as described on page 52. Level 1, I gain sneak as a bonus skill, so that needs to go up by 1 as well. Yes, I already did that.
Perfect.
You can conceal an object. Now, this is the real thing for being a clown. I was really interested of just being able to conceal random objects, no larger than a knife or pistol, from anything less invasive than a strip search, including normal TL4 weapon detection devices.
Yes.
You can draw or produce this object as an on-turn action, and your point-blank ranged attack made from surprise with it cannot miss the target.
Oh my god.
I don't know how many water balloons I'm gonna be throwing at
I
people.
love the idea that your like balloon pump is in fact a gun, and people like the what is it? The TSA will scan it and be like, you're what is this, a gun? And you're like, no, it's a balloon inflator, and they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's like one of those CO2 knives instead. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking like a character, I guess.
Yes. Excellent. Looks good. Okay, so let's see. Step 9 of character creation. Now, pick one non-psychic skill of your choice to reflect your hero's outside interests, natural talents, hobby, expertise, or other personal focus. I'm going to say everyone pick 2.
Oh, I get another one.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was reading over the ship stuff. Can you repeat that one more time for me?
This was step 9. Just pick one more skill, just to round out your character. I'm saying pick another one.
Got it.
Because we're porting, and that's fun, and I'm a fan of you all.
Okay.
Feel free to just declare what you are picking, why, and what the new number is.
I have taken perform, as I am a clown, and that seems the most apt.
Yes.
As well as shoot, because I have shot men before.
Fair. Okay. And those are both 0s now.
Yep.
Okay. What else? Or who else?
I picked pilot for 1 because we discussed Lettuce's background in piloting, like mechanical.
Yeah. I like that.
Different mining craft.
That makes sense to me.
And I think talk as well, given the other statistics.
The other statistics.
The other like his attributes, the charisma score. I feel like
yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
talk makes be a skill that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I had in Scum and Villainy. Let's see if I bring up my other character sheet. I had 2 points in Rig.
Yeah.
Is that fix in this one? So
Yeah,
that's
that
kind
would
of covered.
essentially that would be fix, I think.
Okay, and then
because fix
scramble. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fix here says create and repair devices, both simple and complex.
What does program do?
Program
Like hacking.
operating or hacking computing and communications hardware. Roll it to program or hack computers, control computer operated hardware, operate communications tech, or decrypt things.
For Sunny, I've taken the first point in pilot because I feel like that is going to be necessary as a star captain, and because I was the ship's pilot.
Yeah.
And because I've done a lot of it in our first couple missions, I took the second one in shoot.
Nice. Okay. I think it's worth mentioning that work, the last skill work, is a catch-all skill for professions not represented by other skills. So,
like being a miner or a tailor or a profession.
Yeah, or a clown.
Would you want me to take work instead
No,
of
I'm
perform?
kidding. No, perform is perfect. Exhibit some
Much better.
performative skill. Roll it to dance, sing, orate, act, or otherwise put on a convincing or emotionally moving performance, John. I'm so moved. Yeah.
Pagliacci honks his sad horn today. I'm gonna take Ironhide as my extra freebie. Whether through uncanny reflexes, remarkable luck, geo-engineered skin fibers, or subtle telekinetic shielding.
So these are in fact skills that we're picking, not foci.
You
sorry.
said skills. This okay, perfect.
Yes,
Then
it was
I
take
will-
one more skill, and then I said make it 2.
Oh, I get more skills. I get 2 skills. Okay.
Ace.
Based. I thought that seemed OP.
I mean, it did seem pretty OP.
What?
But we're gonna level to 2.
If you would like,
you
you know what, Greg? If you'd like to take a foci instead of 2 skills.
Nope. I'm gonna take the 2 skills. It's good.
Okay, what are you taking?
I'm gonna take stab and survive.
Nice.
So survive. I mean, stab's pretty it's wielding melee weapons, whether primitive or complex. Survive. Obtain the basics of food, water, and shelter in hostile environments, along with avoiding their natural perils. Roll it to handle animals, navigate difficult terrain, scrounge urban resources, make basic tools, and avoid wild beasts or gangs.
I see this as like the urban part of Dax's life. Like right after he was out of the MK Ultra, he was scrounging around in the bottom of the world, trying to find ways to get his drugs and taking, odd jobs.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think survive is definitely translates to our fiction as like, surviving lower class environments where there is constant need for like just survival day to day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Did we miss anyone? Brian, what did you pick for your extra 2 now?
Pilot and shoot.
Oh, that's right. You did mention that. I'm sorry.
Based.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So moving along, no one has chosen a second class, so we get to skip that step. Okay. Everyone roll me 1d6 and add your con modifier to it.
Am I allowed to keep the 5 that I rolled way up there?
Yes. So we're rolling
take that
HP, and Brian rolled a 5. Or was that a 5 after your modifier?
No, I mean, it's still a 5. I get no modifier as an expert.
Okay.
Well, you would get your Constitution bonus if you had one.
I
had a
have
14
12
or
Constitution, so I have +0.
Okay.
Perfect.
Warrior PCs and
Thank you.
adventures with partial warrior class add 2 points to this total. So John, you rolled a 1.
Yep.
And what's
Luckily,
your?
I'm a partial warrior, so
You are a
I
partial
had
warrior.
2 to that,
And your
and
con
I got
mod. Mhm.
and a 1 con mod, bringing me up to 4 hit points, baby.
4 hit points. Woo! Yes. There's where does it say this?
I also have 4 hit points, John.
Welcome, my 4 hit point brother.
Fantastic.
Oh my god.
Andy rolled a
Hey.
5. And Lettuce has +0 con, so that is 5 HP for you as well.
Right there with you, buddy.
Everyone go
That
ahead and
feels
update your
perilously low.
maximum and current hit points to what they should be. Nice. There was I highlighted it somewhere on my PDF at home. That's like level 1 characters are likely to die. There was some sort of
It says
line.
that in there.
I don't remember where it is, but it's fucking hilarious.
Oh.
Okay. Did you say Hong Kong?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll keep moving along. So with HP decided, note down any attack bonuses. So this should do this on our character sheets by default. So if and when you have weapons on your sheet, they will have an attack modifier bonus. Oh, and it is here in your core statistics where you all just updated your HP. It is the bottom right stat. So like the bottom row is like your XP, which everyone should have 0 out of 3. Armor class by default should be 10 unless you are a
You have a dex modifier, it should automatically be included,
yes.
Yep.
I assume.
Why is
Because
Dax?
I have 11 right now.
Oh. I
It's
don't
correct on Dax. I have a +1 mod in strength, which brings my physical to 14. I have
okay.
a charisma mod that's keeping my others at 15.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at AC, not the saving throws. Armor class in the core statistics.
I haven't put any gear on yet.
Yeah, I'm seeing that Lettuce has 13 armor class.
I added the armored undersuit already because I started looking at the.
Oh, I see.
inventory.
Okay.
As did I.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
man.
all right. For the rest of
bad.
us, we'll get there. So all of that to say, attack bonus should be automatically updating based on your level and stats. And then now we're at the point. Choose one of the equipment packages on page 25 or roll 2d6 times 100 to find out how many starting gear credits you have with which to buy gear. So everyone take an equipment package, and then I also want you after that to just like find one more item in the equipment section that you think is appropriate, based on what your character had. So like Dax, if you did get access to a sniper rifle, fucking take a sniper rifle.
Yeah, I don't think any of the packs have a sniper rifle.
Okay.
I have a question. Can I swap out some armor from the soldier?
Yeah. Feel free to sell your armor at market value, exchange stuff if you want. I just want to take a different AC-15 armor. Okay. Yeah.
Instead of woven body armor, which is like very much obvious woven body armor, I want the like under the clothes, like flexible suit, right?
Yeah. So one thing about this system that makes it very complex, in my opinion, is that money is very, very like granular. Like they, have here is like what your cost per day is. They have lots of different weapons and armor, the cost of mods. Like you can calculate, like we could literally sit here and build the SS Retribution as it was in Scum and Villainy, which we're going to do after we're done with character creation, and then we could calculate the exact cost of what it would be, and we can calculate the daily and annual cost to maintain that ship. Like it just gets very granular. I'm not interested in playing Spreadsheets, the video game or board game, so I'm not going to worry too much about money. I know John is getting in my fucking face.
What?
So
But
like
Spreadsheets and Dragons is just fun.
Starsheets and Dragons.
I'm just saying, Nick.
So this particular game has a lot of equipment with like a huge range of costs. I don't care right now a lot, so just like build your character how they were if you like. If you are planning on taking something that your character didn't already have, we should talk. And I'm not going to sit here and bore our viewers with a lot of talking about, can I buy arrows? How much? Who do I talk to? I don't, I'm not interested in that. So we can do that more offline, or in our own time if that is okay with everyone. Otherwise I would like to move forward with the other steps of character creation, unless there is dissent.
Do you know where the knife and the backpack are located?
Let me search the word knife.
If you want to do a knife, because I ran into this same exact problem, the knife is going to be listed under, what is it? It is going to be a small primitive weapon. And then you just rename it to a knife.
Got it. Thank you.
And check your equipment package, because my small primitive weapon knife was a D6, and the basic small primitive weapon is a D4. So I just changed it in the sheet to D6 for damage.
Oh, and there's no compendium in this Roll20 game, so I can't add it to your sheet, unfortunately. But a lot of that stuff should be automatically loaded into like the drop-down menus.
Yep.
So hopefully
the specifically named monoblade knife was like not in that list, so I just but thank you Brian for walking me through it. And then do you know about the backpack, or is that just I changed what my
I don't care, like, you don't worry about it.
If you want the backpack, go to the gear tab, and you can find it under equipment on the left hand side.
Am I staring at it and I didn't realize?
But there should be a backpack under the equipment part. If you look in it, it is.
Oh, it's all out of alphabetical order. Oh, it's
way out of alpha order.
Yeah, it's about
no filter.
It's like 45% of the way down.
Okay.
Yep.
There's no weapons that you can add, is there?
Weapons is above foci.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, they're
just not in with the rest of the gear, weirdly.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of granular, a lot of guns have the ability to auto fire and or burst fire, which all
I
have
have burst
different
fire, I think,
modifiers and ammo costs and damage. Again, very granular. Okay. Any other equipment questions before we move on?
No.
You're asking about adding one extra thing in there, like one extra piece of gear.
Yes, everyone just take like one other like signature item from your Scum and Villainy class. Whether that is like your doctor's robe. Well, that's just clothes, John, so you can just have that. Or your clown clothes. That's also given, John. Or your balloons. That's also given, John.
Okay, quit calling me out specifically. Right?
But like if you wanted explosives, John, because you described your character having like, you know, like the Joker, haha, I actually have, you know, am rigged to blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that could be your signature item. Dax, it sounds like might take a sniper rifle, unless
I took a sniper rifle.
Perfect.
I mean, I would take either a taser or something to start working my hacking.
Yeah,
I actually pointed out.
Taser would be good if you want, but I also know that can be kind of lackluster. So if you'd rather take, I think they're called black slabs for hacking.
Okay. Right, I'm reading through that right now.
Yeah, it might be something else, but that comes to my mind from the equipment list, which is extensive.
Yep.
I'm
taking that. Thank you.
I think I'll take the grab shoot, which is this game's grappling hook.
Oh, sick.
Perfect.
That's awesome. Nice.
Though it seems very powerful in this game.
What does it say?
It says when the cylinder is strapped to a person or object and activated, it smoothly modulates falling speeds for up to 1,000 meters. The chute can safely slow. So it's more of like a descent tool.
But it also sounds like it modifies your gravity to like if you shot it up, it would pull you up with ease, and there wouldn't be like strain on your body.
That's kind of what I thought. We can just say that's what it is.
It's a video game grappling hook.
Yeah.
Cool.
Love it.
I'll have to look at stuff to see if anything matches with.
Okay. Yeah. No rush right now.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so moving on, there's like mark down your hit bonus, mark down your damage done, and all of the sheets should already have all of that. Record your armor class. So like, if you all have like armor that you want to bring over as like your signature item, or if it didn't already come with your like character package, feel free to do that. Okay. It also asks you to update your saving throws, which the sheet should do that for you. So unlike like resistance rolls or saving throws in Dungeons and Dragons, you don't just make a roll against a DC, unlike all of the other skill checks in this game. You in fact just simply make a D20 roll versus your saving throw number. And I believe you just have to roll above it. Let's see. Does someone want to just make a saving throw? Okay.
Versus you have to meet it.
You have to meet or beat it, it looks like. And I like these little animation or these kind of drawings that make it very clear whether you pass or not pass. So just know that if I ask you to make a saving throw, this is what like that looks like. And I believe those saving throws are modified based on your level as well as some of your skills, or I'm sorry, your attributes. I'm not exactly sure what the formula is since I've never actually had to look at it, since these Roll20 sheets are very smooth.
Just so you know, your base level starts at 15 at level 1. And it is modified down by your modifier to certain attributes. So for example, your physical saving throw starts at 15. You look at the highest modifier you have for strength and constitution, and you subtract that modifier from 15, and that is your saving throw.
Okay.
As your character levels up, that 15 number goes down.
Yeah.
So it gets better.
Cool. Thank you for the clarification, since I have never actually had to worry about it since these sheets are so good. Okay. Let's see. Moving on down the list. Okay. Lastly, wrap up your PC with a name and a goal. Every hero needs to have a goal when they set out adventuring. This goal might change, but your PC should always have some reason to go out and interact with the world before them. Stay-at-home player characters and those unwilling to dare greatly for their aims are rarely fun to play. So let me find the section on goals, because I think this is actually very critical to this system. Character goals are one of the main ways to earn experience in this system. Your character will have both long-term goals and short-term goals. Short-term goals being things that you can achieve in like one session, maybe two. Things that are very much in front of you. And long-term goals are, just like that, as it sounds, like things your character wants to achieve in the long run. So I have some examples from some of the characters from my other game. I'm looking at... Oh, Marvello did not write down goals. Let me look at Silas. What did he write down? These are not very clear. Okay, I'll look at my character. So my character, as in the long term, wanted to just buy a really expensive car since he's a shitty lawyer. He wanted, like, in this new sector of space that no one from his home had ever been to, he wanted to just look really cool. So he needed to save up a bunch of money and buy a really fancy car. But in his short-term goals were like help their robot companion accept their new body since their main body got destroyed. Get a gun modification, get some collective coins, which was the name of one of the currencies in our sector of space. Make some money, help a friend, get a gun mod, short-term goals, save up enough to buy my own car outright, long-term goal, that kind of stuff. So there are many different things that can earn a hero experience, and the kind of activities and goals that reward them will vary with the kind of campaign you're playing. The GM should make it clear to the whole group what kinds of things earn the PC experience in their game. So this is referring to the, is it like we're just going to hand you experience for defeating monsters? Is it milestones? Is it, spending gold or earning gold that gets you XP? I think for us, goals obviously are going to be one of them. I think it'll also be major accomplishments that advance, that rebel agenda or hurt corporate agendas. Those types of things will reward XP. And I'm probably just going to do it in a milestone sense because I'm not really interested in sitting here and calculating your role play is worth this much XP, defeating that person's worth that much XP. I leave that work to John since he's really, and Greg, because they're both really good at it. And for our narrative storytelling, I think I'll just level you all up when I feel it's appropriate and you all have done something notable worth leveling you up. Does that sound okay with everyone?
That sounds wonderful, Nick. That sounds really great, actually.
That sounds really sincere, John.
Good. Glad it is.
Good. Okay. There is
John will trade.
Okay.
We'll trade?
I'm not going to do that.
What?
His gaslighting skill.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? I'm getting gaslit in real time.
All right. So there is a table for what total experience is required to reach every level on page 56. I will move there now for the benefit of the viewers. Everyone go ahead and give your characters 3 XP. We're going to level up to level 2 right now.
Oh.
Right.
And then we will actually circle back around to goals since I just realized I skipped over that while looking for the goals section. So when you advance your character, there's a number of benefits. Once you've been awarded enough XP to reach the next level, you immediately gain the benefits of advancement. There's no special training or rest or practice required. It is assumed that you have been building up to this point. So first, you become harder to overcome in combat. We determine your new maximum hit points. You roll a number of 6-sided die equal to your new level and add your con mod, as well as any bonuses from being a warrior. A negative modifier cannot lower a die's result below 1. So here's how this works. If you roll a number that is greater than your current hit points, that new number is your current hit points. If you roll lower than your current hit points increases by 1 instead.
Unless you're a warrior, then they get that extra +2 still.
Correct.
Nice.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So would everyone like to roll now 2d6?
I would love to.
All right. Andy, Jesus.
God, Andy.
Rolling like a fucking boss. Andy, you now have 11 out of 11 hit points.
8,
I went up to 12, baby.
14 now?
Wait, 14. Oh, because of your con mod?
Con mod and my partial warrior.
I think
You have a +4 to con.
No, but
Your
you
warrior
add that
is-
+2, right?
So you rolled an 8. Your warrior gives you 2 for 10. You have a con modifier of 1. That's 11.
Oh, I thought it was a cumulative.
No.
Yeah,
No,
you're
they
right.
do not accumulate. They
Thank you.
replace.
Yes.
So with no con mod, I'm just 8. Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to throw that in chat real quick. Can we look at that last line and make sure that it's not a cumulative?
Okay. Gain 2 extra max HP each level. Thus, at first level, you'd roll 1d6 plus 2. Yeah, okay, so your warrior bonus is multiplicative. +2 each level times 2 would be 4. But your con mod is always just going to be +1 or plus whatever it is. It's that your con mod is
I'm not worried about the con mod. It's the 2 extra max hit points each level.
Yes, I'm sorry, you're right. So that should be.
I think I have played the warrior wrong forever. It's always been +2 in my games.
So,
but that line makes it make sense. Yeah.
This we are playing the revised free edition of Stars Without Number. There may be a difference in that between the original.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I'll happily take 2 more HP. I'm
Fair
not
enough. Thank you, John, for keeping us on track with the rules. Okay. So we have rolled additional hit points. Your attack bonuses and your saving throws and all of that should increase appropriately. And then we get to look at skill points. Characters become more capable with their skills. A PC gains 3 skill points they can spend on improving their skills or save to spend later. So everyone, first of all, and if you haven't already done so, next to your name, update your level to 2. And then
okay.
Yeah, then that is what will update like attack bonuses, saving throws, etc.
I don't think the attack bonus is tied to
bonus is not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know exactly how attack bonus is calculated either, so we'll have to
one
look at
half of your level rounded
half
up.
of your level rounded down.
So
or
rounded down or rounded up?
Rounded down.
Rounded down.
Okay, unless you're a warrior, in which case it's 1 per level.
And then unless you're a partial warrior, in which case the partial warrior gets +1 at level 1 and at level 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only.
Got
And
it.
then that added to the half of your level, rounded down.
So my attack bonus is 2 as a pure warrior. John's attack bonus is 1 as a partial warrior, and theirs is now 1 as a level 2.
Expert, yeah. Okay.
Would mine not be?
John should be 2.
Mine should
He
be
gets-
2.
He gets 1 at level 1 and 1 at level 5, right?
Yeah, but he gets half his level
Yeah, I don't ignore
plus,
that.
+1 at level 1.
So next level, I won't get anything, and then I'll have to wait till 4
I don't
to get my next attack bonus increase.
Warriors may instead use their full character level for the bonus. Adventurers with a partial warrior class option may add a cumulative +1 to their attack bonus at levels 1 and 5. Okay, so it's half of your level rounded down. So level 2 rounded down is 1, and then John gets +1 from Partial Warrior for a total of +2.
Yeah.
At level 5, it calls it out right here in the book. At level 5, I should have +4.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
But as a full warrior,
two
you
plus
just
two,
use your
yeah.
level dex, which is also
Yes.
2. So just for this level, you and Norm will be the same.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I got it.
Cool math.
Math is complicated.
I dig it.
All right, the sheet updates the saving throws automatically. And back to skills. Can you start in skills one more time, Nick?
Yes. So, everyone gains 3 skill points that they can spend on improving their skills or save to spend later. So, just as an exercise, everyone, if you look in the top right corner where there's the pencil mark, that should be yellow when you're editing your character sheet. And then you click it again to play. So go ahead and enable that. Make sure that that pencil is yellow. And then scroll down to your skills. There is an area in the bottom right called unspent skill points. Just go ahead and add 3 there.
Okay.
This is where you can bank them for later if you don't spend them all. Let's see. I don't know if I was tracking if everyone did that. Andy, did you catch all that?
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
Rather than skills, I'm gonna spend my 3 skill points on an attribute boost.
Okay. Yeah, so let's talk about the different things you can do, because you may not just put them into skills. So if experts and adventurers with partial expert class gain an extra bonus point to spend on non-combat and non-psychic skills. So Sunny and Lettuce gain a 4th point. If a PC is psychic or partial psychic, they must spend at least 1 of these points on improving psychic skills or gaining new psychic techniques. They can save these points to spend later if they wish, but they cannot spend them on more mundane talents. Right now we don't have any psychics, so I'm going to just skip over that. Skills that are gained or improved immediately on gaining a level are assumed to have been perfected over the past level and require no training time or teaching. If you save your skill points to spend them later, then you'll need to find some teacher or other explanation for developing them. It doesn't take more than a week to refine your new ability, but you can't usually spend your points mid-scene to develop a heretofore unmentioned expertise with flamethrowers. John.
Suddenly suicide bombs.
Oh no!
The cost for improving a skill is listed below. Every skill level must be purchased in order. To gain level 1 in a skill, you need to pay 1 point for level 0 and then 2 points for level 1. A PC must be the requisite minimum level to increase a skill to certain levels. So again, there's this chart here on page PDF page 61, book page 57. So skill points are just like, they increase by 1. So level 0 is a 1, 1 is a 2, 2 is a 3, 3 is a 4, 4 is a 5.
Cool.
And there are some minimum levels there. I'm going to skip over psychic stuff. A veteran adventurer may have trained or honed their natural abilities well enough to improve one of their 6 base attributes. So instead of skills, you can improve your attributes. The first time a PC improves an attribute, it costs 1 skill point and adds +1 to an attribute of their choice. The second time, the attribute costs 2 skill points, the third 3, and so forth. Each improvement adds +1 to the attribute, potentially improving its modifier. Again, there is a table on like the modifiers and their breakpoints. I believe they are 13, 14, and 18. So those are the only times that our stat should increase. Well, unless you have a negative, and then I think it's like 8. So yeah, you can just spend 1 skill point to increase one of your stats one. And then finally, if you want to improve your foci, there are specific levels to do that, and level 2 is in fact one of them. So let's focus on those skill points first before moving on to additional foci.
Hey, like I said, I'm going to spend 1 skill point to obtain my first boost in Dex. Then I'm going to spend 2 skill points to obtain my second boost in Dex.
Nice.
Okay. Right. So this is where boosts come in. This is what is considered a boost. So you have shown your boost as a 2 now, meaning that we know you have increased that 2 times. And the next
Correct.
time you want to increase it, it'll cost 3 of those skill points.
Correct.
Nice. And that brings you up to your break point of 14.
Correct.
Very nice. Thank you, Greg. Anyone else know what they're doing with their 3 or 4 skill points?
So, sorry, just to clarify, so it's the first boost in each attribute that costs 1, or the first boost in general that costs 1? Okay.
Per attribute.
Okay, so with my 4 unspent skill points from this level up, I could get a +1 boost in 4 different attributes if I wanted to.
You could, yes.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Except your wisdom cannot go above 18.
What?
Sorry. I'm
charisma?
looking at John's character. John, you rolled an 18. Oh, no, you put some points into...
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
I rolled those 2 skill increases with knowledge. So I just put them into wisdom to max them out.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lettuce has increased Dex by 1 to 14 and increased Charisma by 1 to 18. Very nice. So you still have 2 left.
I'm gonna so the cost table that's on page 57.
Yes.
So its new skill level at 0 will cost you 1.
Correct.
If you already have 0,
you would
oh,
go.
never mind. I answered my own question. Never mind.
You got it.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm gonna give myself, so I can use the remaining. So I'm at a 0 at shoot.
Yes.
So wait, that should be a -1. So I have the 2, so I could spend 1.
I
get
thought
it
you
to
gave
0.
yourself a point and shoot from just like the round yourself out skills.
That was me.
That was Sunny.
Okay.
I gave myself a pilot from the round you out.
There should have been a second one you gave yourself.
I think I gave myself exert on that one as well because of like I had like scramble and stuff.
Yeah.
Before.
Okay, that makes sense.
So what's lead and know? What page are the skills on?
Those were up on page
14 or something.
Found it. Page 8.
Oh, nice.
I'm definitely gonna put a point in no.
No facts about academic or scientific fields. Roll it to understand planets, remember relevant history, solve science mysteries, and know the basic facts about rare or esoteric topics. Lead. Convince others to do whatever it is you're trying to do. That might be important for rebels. Talk might persuade them to follow you. That following you is smart, but lead can make them do it even when they think it's a bad idea. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh.
Norm?
So I am putting my partial expert thing into no as well. And I haven't decided on anything else so far.
Okay. What does the partial expert thing do?
I just get an extra skill point every time
right, your
I
fourth.
gain a character
Your
level.
4th skill point.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry.
So I'm working on it.
No worries. Sunny, what did you take?
I'm also working on it. I've got a lot of debate about whether I want to get a whole bunch of level 0 skills so I can do a lot of things, or whether I want to round out my good skills.
Yeah.
Or I could spend it all to get a +1 in and a +2 in Dex. Give me extra modifiers. So I've got a lot of decisions to make. I'm still debating.
Yeah, that sounds tough.
So I have just decided to take another point into notice.
Nice.
And
Nick,
Yo.
would you be able to create in like Roll20 just like a note, maybe like an additional character card or note card of some kind with the page 8 of the PDF skill list? Because I think that's going to be useful to reference document without having to scroll through this whole PDF.
I was working on I found a quick reference PDF that I really liked, but I was also going to add a couple other tables from the rule book to it, but I can also just add that as a handout. So let me, oops, wrong thing. Let me do that right now. Oh, I'm in the wrong game. Maybe that's why the music's super borked.
Maybe.
Yeah, let me switch games. Have you all just been listening to this song on repeat over and over and over?
Yes, we have.
Yes,
For sure.
it's 2 minutes and 24 seconds long. It's been playing for an hour and 40 minutes now. So we're on like
Brian's sitting here taking notes on exactly how many times the song is played. He's just got a running tally mark.
I think we're on like probably like 42 or 43, but that's just from doing math in my head.
For being a speedrunner teaches you that kind of thing. Being able to just do some quick math, huh?
You try.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have fully chosen my everything.
I've chosen my everything, and it's you, John.
Aw, that's sweet.
So I took
Just no
notice, stab, and then I upped my dex by 1.
All right, you upped stab to a 0, and you upped your dex by 1.
Yeah.
Very nice. Cool. So make sure to increase your boost, not your base.
Oh, okay.
So that way we know how many times you've increased that.
Perfect.
For future skill purchasings.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think you guys all know this, but I don't know if Nick mentioned, increase your XP next level to 6.
Yeah.
You can do that by increasing your level. If you take to your level to 2, it'll do that automatically for you.
That's automatic.
Interesting.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, you have your level at 2,
learning
so
so
it's got it
much.
set up for you. All right, I have taken a +1 boost in intelligence so that I now have a +1 modifier in intelligence up to 14. I have taken 2 skill points to increase my sneak from a 0 to a 1. So now I am sneaky at level 1 and I roll 3 dice on it.
Wow.
And I have increased my notice from a -1 to a 0, giving me another skill I can use.
Nice.
So now I'm sneaky and knowledgeable and observant.
Okay.
Same.
All right. Okay. So while I am once again looking for the goal section, I want everyone to go over to their Scum and Villainy sheet. For every cred and stash you had, give yourself 100 credits.
Ooh. Money.
Let's open up another
For
tab.
each one, give yourself 500 credits instead.
That's
Money is a thing. And I also just realized how expensive your ship is going to be.
Yep.
Not that I'm charging you for it, you have it, but just in terms like, okay, they have like 25 creds in their pocket, but they have a multi-million-dollar ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so it's 5 per
500
thing?
per
500
per
okay.
just box in either cred or stash. Just
including stash. Do you want us to take the stash out 2 to 1?
Nope. 500 per.
Okay.
Do you want us to take the cred from the ship as well and just put it in a group fund or something?
How much cred does the
3. Just 3.
Okay, everyone take an additional 500 on top of whatever you have.
Okay.
Yep. Money bags.
1, 2, 3,
I
4,
just
5,
whatever.
6,
Y'all-
7.
I
y'all-
briefly feel rich until I look at equipment prices.
Yep.
What page is that on?
It's well below all the like psychic and hacking stuff. It just like starts scrolling until you see tables running across your screen.
Is there a note section? I want to remember my characters. Like Daniel
under
Day-Lewis.
Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous at the bottom has some notes.
I see it now.
Yes. So what are you writing down for yourself there?
Just my contacts,
Yes,
old friends.
I would like everyone to write down their contacts in the notes section, as well as any like beliefs.
Bonds.
And bonds. Yeah. Wait, did we do bonds?
Nope.
Yeah. Just any
beliefs.
like character creation related notes that you have that might be relevant.
You're right. We didn't do bonds. I'm so used to beliefs, bonds, flaws.
Oh, cancel. There we go.
I will want to award XP for, good role play. So I think we can use goals and beliefs to do that. This system like encourages you to use like it's like, hey, do you want to use a session-based system, personal goal-based system, mission-based system, loot system, spending system? Like it throws it all at you. I don't know. How do we feel about like defining like individual goals? Do we find that to be like too checkboxy and prescriptive? Should we just focus on milestones for XP gain just to like keep it focused on the fiction?
What are your thoughts, John?
Go ahead, John.
My mind is melting. Why are you both calling me out? I haven't even said anything.
You very specifically had issue with the way like XP was mechanically, like advancement and story were mechanically handled. So this is something I feel like we need to hear your input on.
I like milestone.
Yeah.
Because then you can arbitrarily declare that the entire party can now be X level. So if you think we've earned it, I would prefer that other than a full-blown 18-step checklist for each one of us to go through.
Yeah. And I feel like us as a group and as storytellers, I don't need to like incentivize you to role play better. Like that's why we're here. We're here to like do cool role play, tell interesting stories, and work collaboratively to construct cool fiction. So I don't feel like I need to like reward XP with
Grade
goals
us.
or
Love it.
Grade us like
Grade-
a teacher.
Sure. You get a B+, John. Keep working hard for that A.
I'll never get it.
Okay. I think that's all there is. So I guess we'll just skip goals then.
Foci for level
yes.
2.
Yes, sorry, I missed that. Yep.
You're not
Leveling
taking
up.
my skill away,
Foci.
man. Come on.
Okay, where was that? Can you remind me what page that was on? I moved around.
The
57.
Foci list. Yeah.
Thank you.
The list itself is above that somewhere.
On PDF page
Finally,
24,
the
book page
PC
20.
might be eligible to pick an additional level in a focus. At levels 2, 5, 7, and 10, a PC can add a level to an existing focus or pick up the first level in a new focus. This is the first level they've taken in the focus. They might be granted a skill as a free bonus pick, depending on the focus's benefits. During character creation, this bonus skill pick is treated like any other skill pick.
If the focus is taken as part of advancement, however, it instead counts as 3 skill points spent towards increasing the skill. Okay, so at high levels of skills, you might not be able to like take a focus and just get level 4 in a skill, since it costs 5 skill points, not the 3 that a level focus is considered. So, or if you like take a skill that grants you 3 if you take a focus at level 2, it grants you 3 skill points. That could take a -1 to a 1 and boost you all the way from to 0 and then to a 1. Okay. Okay, yeah. So everyone take a look at those foci again. They are on page 20.
I think that's for like getting it to level 2, right? Its focus have like tiers to them. Of like level 1 assassin, you gain sneak. So if I took level 2, it would give me 3 skill points to sneak again. Is that what it's saying?
It gives you skill points if it says take a skill, right?
Yeah,
so
correct.
for my gunslinger foci, it says gain a skill level in shoot. If you do it as an advancement here in level 1, you would gain 3 skill points in shoot. But only if it says to gain a skill level.
But if the second level of the foci does not say gain a bonus skill, then you do not gain the 3 skill points.
Okay, so does that mean for us, if we started at -1, then it would just go to 1 normally?
Correct. As part of a character advancement. So like what are you?
So only for like level 2, 5, 7, and 10.
Correct.
Okay, now I getcha.
Yes.
Now I getcha. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is everyone feeling like they understand that or need like some explanation?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
So I can level up the Wanderer foci.
Yeah,
right
or take another foci. Absolutely.
Nah.
I am going to take level 2 in close combatant.
Ooh, what does that do?
So level 2 of close combatant says the shock damage from my melee attacks treats all targets as if they were AC 10. Also, the fighting withdrawal combat action is treated as an on-turn action for me. Can be performed freely.
Okay.
Oh, close combat. Okay. Shock damage. I have never played with shock damage in my other game of Stars Without Number, so I'll have to look at that. But you treat targets as if they were AC 10. Fighting withdrawal combat action is treated as an.
It gives you system shock
to
be hit by a melee weapon. My melee weapons now are better because if your AC is low, you're more likely to get system shock, right? So if your AC is 10, then I give you 2 system shock on most melee weapons. If your AC is 15, I probably won't with like a knife unless I have a really good weapon, right?
Okay. System shock is not a term in this game, so you're referring
System
to the
strain, I think.
Oh.
Something like that.
Trying to find like where it defines shock. Oh, you can shock someone even if you miss.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to. Oh, shock. Many melee weapons have a shock trait representing the danger they pose to an ill-armored opponent. Shock damage represents the inevitable cuts, bruises, exhaustion, and terror of close combat. Shock damage is only inflicted on a melee target if the hit roll fails. Only if it fails. Interesting. And it only applies if the target has an AC equal or less than that listed for the shock. So, like, do you have a shock value of your melee weapon?
My small primitive weapon does 1 point per AC 15.
Wow. Oh, but you treat them as though they had AC 10.
As AC 10.
Oh, okay. Shock damage always includes the wielder's attribute modifier and any bonus damage granted by weapon mods, foci, advanced tech, or other damage bonuses. An actual hit with a weapon never does less damage than shock would otherwise inflict. Okay, so it also sets a minimum damage on a hit. Okay. If the user somehow rolls less damage, use the shock damage instead. Thus, if you had a strength score of 14 and were swinging an oversized battle axe at a target with AC 13, you would inflict 3 points of damage on a miss, 2 from the shock plus 1 from your strength mod. If you hit, you'd do at least 3 points. Oh, that's really interesting. I like that. It kind of makes you seem like, I don't know, the idea of like a minimum damage beyond like 1 seems really cool and like interesting in terms of like mechanical choices. I like that. Okay. So Sunny, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Norm. Nope. Fuck. Lettuce. You leveled up Wanderer. Tell me about level 2 Wanderer.
Yeah, I added it to the Roll20 chat. Level 2, you can forge, scrounge, or snag travel papers and identification for the party with 1d6 hours of work. These papers and permits will stand up to ordinary scrutiny, but will require an opposed int/administer versus Wiz notice check if examined by an official while the PC is actually wanted by the state for some crime. Does that mean you will roll a wisdom notice check against me?
Yes.
Okay.
We have finally picked a system where I'm going to roll dice more than just damage to you all. And encounter rolls.
Awesome.
Yes. So I will be rolling a lot for characters and just using kind of like base stats for them, usually a 0 or a 1 or a -1, depending on the circumstance. If it's like a really badass person, like our mercenary friend, he might get +2 on some things. But I think that makes perfect sense, especially since forged documents was a big part of your all's toolkit. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Cool. All right. Anyone else figure out what foci they were upgrading?
I have not yet. John, have you?
Oh.
Okay. I know there's so many and they're very fun.
Yeah, they are.
I have a couple I'm thinking about. I have the option to upgrade either the two that I have, Sneak and Star Captain. Both have pretty good level 2 abilities. Although Star Captain, we've never done a ship combat, so I don't know what that's going to be like yet.
We may not do a lot of it because it is very crunchy.
Okay, that helps. I will not pick level 2
It
Star
also
Captain
treats
just
every
yet.
round of space combat as like 10 minutes, which doesn't make any sense to me. Because space combat seems like it's something that would be very fast.
Think of it like sailing ships in the ocean.
Yep.
Maneuvers take a lot of time.
Fair.
You may fire your cannons in an instant, but lighting them up, you've got to like bank around and spend time lining up, get your speed just right, make sure there's a long process to it. And space is so big and vast, even though they're moving very fast.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing takes time.
That's fair.
So the ones that I'm considering then are taking Alert, which is you gain notice as a bonus skill. And since I just leveled it to 0, that would pop it to 1, correct?
You leveled it to 0, you would get 3 points in it. 2 of those would bring you to 1, and then you would have a banked 1 spent towards leveling it up.
Okay.
At least that's how I would treat it. I don't know if that's rules as written, but
that is correct. Yeah, that's how I understand it.
And then I would not be surprised. I couldn't get an execution attack against me, and I rolled for initiative twice. Take the best result. That'd be a fun one.
What was that one called? Alert?
Alert. Yep.
Yeah.
The other one I'm looking at is Die Hard, which is extra 2 max HP per level, and automatically stabilized if mortally wounded by anything smaller than a heavy weapon. Because the Scoundrel class for Scum and Villainy had a whole bunch of, you are hard to be killed type abilities. So and I was looking at taking a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I'm considering is the hacker. Same thing with program as a bonus skill. And then it's the same. I would get 3d6 on a skill check, drop the lowest.
Okay. I'm noticing you're moving kind of away from the scoundrelly vibe.
Am I really?
Well, let me look at it again.
I've taken sneak as my main skill, but I've also included things that I had done in the Scum and Villainy game. I've gotten a point in lead as I was kind of the
That's
captain
fair.
of the ship, pilot since I was piloting the ship. I have the ability to talk,
That's
programming and hacking, which I had a point in hack for Scum and Villainy.
Yeah.
I've tried to kind of stick to what I had so far, and I'm build it from there.
Yeah.
The alert would be new.
Yes, that's
But-
true.
And then we didn't get much of a chance to hack anything yet, even though I tried and failed a few times.
I almost would have expected you to take diplomat. You know how to get your way in personal negotiations and can manipulate the attitudes of those around you. That just feels very scoundrelly to me. But like, you're right.
does,
You definitely have been
but-
putting some stuff towards it.
But I think John has already moved in that direction with his character. And I like
I'm sorry?
Out. Did you not take diplomat as a foci at some point already?
I did, yeah.
Right, but
Okay.
I think the fictional representation of that was like, I'm a doctor, so I'm an authority. So
Mhm.
I might treat that diplomat, or you might think about it differently depending on the situation. Versus
Well,
you're
now
just
I've
like,
done.
I'm ready to bullshit anytime.
Maybe
anyway.
this will help you, Shadow.
Yeah.
I have decided on my focus, and I'm going to be taking the focus known as Connected. I gain Connect as a bonus skill, which, if we're doing this,
Mhm.
as we have said, that goes up to 1 now instead of.
Yes.
Yeah, it just goes up to 1. If I spend at least a week in a not entirely hostile location, I can build a web of contacts willing to do favors for me that are no more than mildly illegal. You can call on 1 favor per game day, and the GM decides how far they'll go for you. So, in this sense, I am now tending to people and asking for favors in return rather than just financial compensation for my services.
Mhm.
So maybe that will help.
Yeah. Well, and especially in thinking about like building a rebel network, that will be very useful. So would things like just to plant the seed in your minds for future skills. Chat. Let me move over to this. Henchkeeper. You have a distinct knack for picking up lost souls who willingly do your bidding. You might induce them with promises of money, power, excitement, sex, or some other prize that you may or may not eventually grant. A henchman obtained with this focus will serve in loyal fashion until clearly betrayed or placed in unacceptable danger. Henchmen are not important people in their society and are usually marginal sorts, outcasts, the desperate, or other persons with a few options. We don't have to treat them that way, our NPCs, but interesting.
Would you say they are the broken and the damned?
The broken and the damned.
John, when you grow up, will you
Will you-
lead them?
Be a
I
young
will
man.
lead them, yes.
Will you be a young man?
I'm not a young man, no. But I am part of a parade with my performance skill.
If you don't know what we're talking about, join the Discord and we'll tell you all about it. Okay. Yeah, connected will be good. I think you all are picking some really awesome stats. Although, John, I'm also noticing that you have not put anything in administer.
Yeah, I don't think I was a good administrator.
You were
I
just
think
like,
I was a
"Here's some
patsy,
money."
and they had me there as like, this guy's got the Tamaj name, and,
the
he
Tamaj
can be our
name. What does that
scapegoat.
mean?
It's just a easily recognizable name. That way, when I get arrested for bribery and taking bribery for my hospital, they can throw me under the bus.
Okay. Sounds
I was
good.
like a weird high elite at one point,
Excellent.
but no longer. No longer.
No more. Okay.
All right, Nick, I've decided then, since we're not getting into a lot of starship combat, or we're not sure if we are, I think I'm going to take, at this level, hacker.
Okay.
and get some ability to do some hacking of systems and computer work.
Yes.
In case we run into that at some point. One last quick question as I choose this. How many times do we get new folk at?
They're at levels 2, 5, 7, and 10.
So 3 more?
I think.
Yeah.
3 more times. Okay.
Okay. Hang on. Let me see something really quick. I'm just gonna pull something up. I don't understand your comment, Beth. I need clarification.
Beth, are you okay?
Oh,
Don't
Beth is
starve.
playing Don't Starve. Okay. That was a very dark comment, and I was worried.
We were talking about Don't Starve on my stream last night.
Yes, we were. I remember that, but I was not in that mindset. Sorry, Beth. Okay. So I have just added to our resources channel for the cast a hacking document, Brian. Hacking has a lot of modifiers and is treated a little kind of crunchier than some of the other like skill checks in this system.
Mm-hmm. Love it. I will dive into it and have intimate knowledge of it before we play again.
Fantastic. We all have a lot of diving in and intimacy building that we need to do with this system because it is a little crunchy, but we will get through it. And if anything, we have Greg to rely on since he's played this before. What's your experience with this game, Greg?
I played a 2-month-long campaign of it.
Okay.
Where I died horribly, leading us into some black hole. It was fantastic.
Excellent. I've been playing in my game for almost a year and I've barely read the rules because I'm just in that group where there are a lot of other people that know the rules, so I never have to learn them.
Okay.
But now I have to, so yeah. I've been putting it off for too long. Okay. That is, I think, all that we need to do for character creation, unless there's anything I'm missing. Let me look over. I guess. Oh, go ahead.
You said we're doing gear off. Any extra gear stuff we're doing off stream?
Yeah, if you have. Yeah, I don't want
to. Readied versus stowed mechanic.
I don't care. I think
Love
in keeping with the
fantastic.
One of the things I love about Scum and Villainy is how it frames you all as cool, prepared adventurers and just like being able to select your gear reactively. So I don't care. Just like it should make fictional sense. You can't just be like, hey, I'm carrying 65 bear traps. Again, like, you know, going back to Fatal 1, that never made any fucking sense. It was dumb.
Don't you know my backpack is my one psychic trait?
Well, if that's the case, that might make some fictional sense, but okay. Oh, we were gonna do the ship. Let's look at the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
So ship creation starts on page 94. Now, normally in this game, the crew doesn't start with a ship. Or I mean, they can, but like, it doesn't point you directly at, hey, make a ship for the crew because they need one. So, but we're gonna go through that process because in our fiction we've established that you all have a ship. So, not PDF page, the book page 94.
Okay.
Okay, so creating a starship is actually fairly simple and requires only a few steps. First, we pick a hull type for the ship from the list on page 95. This type will indicate the price. We're not worried about price right now. I just want to like convert over the SS Retribution. The type will indicate the price of the base hull with a drive 1 spike drive along with the available free power and mass. So looking at the starship hulls, there's a, like, it goes on at the bottom of this page to describe a lot of the different kind of stats that you have: cost, speed, armor, hit points, the maximum number of crew or minimum number of crew required to maintain it, the armor class, the power, the mass, the hard points, which are like where you can put weapons. So yeah, there's a lot of types, and then on 95 it describes them, and then there's a chart. I'm thinking a frigate might make the most sense because y'all were definitely not in like a fighter, but you also weren't in like a cruiser.
I thought we were in a Corvette.
I was gonna say it was called Corvette in the last one.
Yes, but there is not a like. I don't see anything on the whole type. So Corvette. The description says the smallest true combat frigate and often simply called a frigate by spacers. Corvettes have significantly thicker armor than patrol boats and trade additional crew member needs and less maneuverability for more available free mass. So
we are probably more likely to be a patrol boat. And the reason I say that is we were very engine spaced. We talked about our ship being something that was fast and had the ability to get out of dodge quickly. And a bulk freighter or a heavy frigate are very slow ships. And the patrol boat is the kind of nice medium like size ship that has enough like bulk that we could be doing missions, but also can get the heck out of dodge.
Okay.
So I think that is where I would be leaning personally.
Plus the minimum crew to sustain, like to manage a patrol boat is 5. Sorry,
which we can get a lot closer to than.
Sorry,
20.
John. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. No, I was agreeing with Greg all the way.
Love it.
Yeah, I didn't. Sorry, John. You said we were literally a Corvette, and I like didn't put it together that was one of the whole type options until I read it above. Sorry.
No, you're good.
But
I correct things. I'm a lame piece of awful garbage human.
No, you're good. You're good.
Patrol it.
All right.
Make us a patrol boat.
So we have a character sheet, the SS Retribution, which
I've already been.
It looks like Brian is
a
already
little bit.
updating. Brian will be our note keeper and updater of this sheet.
The hero.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Brian. Did it updated the hit points and power and all that already?
Free power 15 out of 15, free mass 15 out of 15, 6 hard points.
Yep. And crew max 40, HP 40, armor 10, speed. Oh wait. No,
it didn't. Part of the problem is you told me, hey, go ahead and mess with it. So I put it in as a Corvette, and then I just changed it back to a patrol boat, and it hasn't re-updated.
Okay.
So let me try to edit and not edit. I don't know.
All right, here, let me delete that. I'll make a new one.
Do it for me, and then I'll mess with it.
Sorry.
Not your fault.
I did not. I suggested to Brian because I went through the process of like, hey, here's what I think the ship would look like, and I accidentally selected a Corvette. And you all are totally right that I think that it makes more sense for it to be a patrol boat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there should be a new sheet in characters now that everyone has access to. Can you give that a shot, Brian?
Vehicle. Yep, I'm on it. Patrol boat. Class frigate, speed 4, AC 14. Yep, everything updated properly.
Great. Good. Okay, so the next thing we do, second, add fittings, weapons, and defenses from the pages that follow. Each such addition takes up a certain amount of power and mass and may have a minimum hull size required for installation. Some fittings and defenses cost more in money, power, or mass when installed on larger ships. We're not going to worry about the cost right now because we have the ship. So scrolling down past the hull types are fittings. They have a bunch of descriptors, and then there's yet another table. So let's take a few minutes to look over this table and then reference the descriptions. I have a few things that I think make sense. I think since we all got that like upgraded engine from the Draxler's Raider. Nope, it wasn't the Raiders. It was who was it? There was a different faction that gave you all the like prototype engine.
It was the Fast and Furious crew.
Yeah, yep. I'm struggling to remember their name.
Let me pull up my notes. I didn't think I would need them tonight.
Dom Ferris?
Oh, the Echo Wave Riders, the Speed Junkie Pilots. So they gave you the increased engine. So I'm just going to give you all a Drive 5 upgrade if you want.
Jeez.
All right, that sounds great.
And that'll just explain like you're just faster than most ships.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is it requires 6 power and 6 mass.
That
so
is
we're down
correct.
to 4 mass left, which is not a lot.
No.
I think that's cool. I think the thing that we added most recently that we want to check off first is something that is close to a fake transponder.
Yes.
With the remaining mass and power, I think I would be looking at something like that.
The sensor mask.
Sensor mask.
Sensor mask would be what I was trying to find. Yeah, I think.
Yep.
Let me find the actual words so that I can
The
verify
description
what
of the
I
sensor.
think it is in my mind.
Yeah.
It's long range
The brief
sensor readings.
description. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Greg. Sorry.
Oh no, go for it. I agree. I think that's what we need. I found it.
The brief description says in the character sheet, at long distances, disguise ship as another.
It can disguise its long-range sensor readings, spoofing scans with the ID tags and apparent hull type of any other ship of its choice. To penetrate this masquerade, I love the use of that word, the scanning entity must beat a wisdom/program skill check against difficulty 10, plus the program skill of the masking ship's comm officer. Once the ship is close enough to visually identify, the masking is useless. So I have talked about drive signatures, using that as a physical evidence of identity, like a fingerprint, but otherwise using that hey, this is the ship I am is generally at a long distance how people are gonna react to knowing who you are, or at least thinking they know who you are. So yeah, I think that's really good, and I think it only costs 2 of your power and 0 mass.
So I 100% think we should do that.
Yeah. If you're looking at the table of all of these fittings, you'll notice that some of these, or a lot of them, have a pound sign. That represents a multiplier based on your ship's size and hull type.
Oh.
Frigate is ×2 for anything that is a hashtag, which is why it's 2 power for a sensor mask instead of the 1 hashtag.
The other thing that made sense based on what we've done so far is a cargo lighter, which essentially is a shuttle.
Yeah, I think the shuttle has been a big part of what we do so far.
And that's
I
just
think
2
getting
more
that would be
mass.
good.
It does not cost any additional power, which is nice.
And I think that can also double as our speeder bikes,
Yeah, that seems cool.
since there's no specific thing in here for
No,
ground vehicles.
that's just personal, their bikes, or
Yep.
I'm thinking of them as razor scooters on steroids.
So vehicles are a thing. I don't know if we care or want to get into it. I'm fine if we just want to hand wave it and our motorcycles become a shuttle that we combine it.
Well, the shuttle had room for them, they were on the back or the exterior of the shuttle, or maybe inside the shuttle. I don't care if we have to really get into the nitty gritty of okay, another group is on their motorcycles, you all are on your motorcycles, we need to figure out which motorcycles
That sounds
are,
awesome.
it sounds awful, I think is what you meant to say.
I don't know. It sounds like it could be something. We have a motorbike chase.
That does, okay, a chase sounds fun. Figuring out who's got the faster bikes just sounds ridiculous.
No. That does sound. I concede to that.
Okay, fair. So
I think at that point we do Mario Kart rules. Everyone has the same engine,
until someone gets a blue shell, and then it's all over.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess so far between the cargo light and the sensor mask, that's just 2 power and 2 mass. The Drive 5 upgrade allowed you all to get around really fast, and essentially so this game differentiates between your sublight speed and what is called spike drilling, which is FTL. Since our fiction doesn't use this spike drive thing, I've stayed away from that. I think if you all take the Drive 5 upgrade, that will increase your speed as well as
I like that.
Like both sublight and, I mean, there is an FTL. That's the thing, and that's what a drive upgrade is going to represent. Is just being way faster. Your acceleration is just insane.
I like that. I do see that on our sheet. I'm just looking at the modules we have installed. So we have something that that is a jump drive, essentially. We have something that is a fake transponder. We don't have particle cannons. I think the closest thing that makes sense for particle cannons is just a multifocal laser.
Let's get to weapons in a bit. I was trying to take these one at a time, but or do you feel like we should talk about that now?
I'm just trying to kit the ship out.
Yeah,
because it's going to take mass and power, and I think we should just use what's left.
That's fair. So
also, okay, I guess before we tack a laser on, is there anything else that you guys want to add to the ship? Like, is there another item that you think is important to our crew that we need to have there?
So John had we started the project of adding on like a training module, a thing that could let you augment your skills, and there is something here at the advanced lab that does that. So I don't know if that's something we want to continue working on.
The advanced research lab?
Yes, on the table it's just called advanced lab, and that in page 96 is called advanced research lab. When used to investigate some phenomenon or object, any applicable skill rolls are improved by +1 for the frigate lab.
I think. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no. I was there.
This is more like the Star Trek research lab of we now have an alien artifact and we have to move it or interact with it in a safe way. It'd be more like the Science Bay auxiliary module in Scum and Villainy. I don't think we should care about training modules anymore. I think we just train without break in our downtime and go crazy, you and I.
Yep. And now it's milestone XP. So
yeah. We're not going to worry about that.
The one thing we did add was a med bay right before at the end of the last episode.
Oh.
We want to add the advanced med bay. Extended med bay as a module.
What's it called?
It's an extended med bay.
Oh, it's
extended med bay.
Cost 1 power and 1 mass.
Yes, let's do that. I like that.
All ships are equipped with basic medical facilities for curing lightly injured crew members and keeping the seriously injured ones stable until reaching a planet. An extended med bay improves those facilities, allowing for the medical treatment of up to the ship's entire maximum crew at once, including the treatment of critically wounded passengers. Nice.
Cool.
I think that just makes a lot of sense because that's something we added previously.
Okay.
Good call.
This leaves us at 6 free power, 1 free mass, and 4 hard points. Hard points being places where we can equip, I believe, weapons and possibly defenses.
I think we should. Are there any shields or armor types in this?
Ship defenses.
Ship defenses.
All of which you all do not have the mass for.
We have 1 mass. We can get augmented plating.
Except that is 2 weight, 2 mass.
Oh, okay. Because we're a frigate.
Because you're
right.
Yeah, we're
right.
Okay.
Here's the thing, John. Our ship comes with AC already.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like kind of baked in that we have some amount of shielding, right?
Yeah.
I also, like, you all are fucking fast.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
your defense.
Do we
right
need
there.
weapons if we can just outrun and be like a speedy turtle hare or something?
Not to toot my own horn, but you also have a fixed person as well.
Yeah.
For damage.
I like having at least the opportunity to shoot a weapon if we need it.
Yeah.
There's I believe there's also the ability in this system. It's a lot actually like Gloomhaven, where instead of taking damage, you all can instead take a ship crisis.
Ooh, interesting.
Ooh, Captain is dead.
Yes, it's
Hey.
Gloomhaven / Captain is Dead for those of you who don't know Gloomhaven and know the Captain is Dead, which is just Andy and I.
It's me.
I'm the captain.
So I have a board game over here called The Captain is Dead. It's great. Anyway, okay.
You
so,
get to say I'm the captain now. That's the real question.
Look at me.
So what weapon do we want then?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think
Well.
that the multifocal laser makes the most sense.
Are we able to take it?
Weapons,
Yes, we
a lot of
are.
weapons are just one mass.
Okay.
The multifocal laser is 5 power, 1 mass, 1 hard point. We have 6 power, 1 mass, and a hard point left over.
So we can put a fighter weapon on a frigate frame?
I
Okay.
believe. Let me look at the definition of class. I think that's the minimum class, whole
Okay.
class you have to be. But let me double check.
It makes sense. You can downgrade
Yeah,
for sure. You wouldn't
Uh,
make a starship that doesn't have like a point defense
I
system,
guess
right?
the other thing we could have put on our ship is nuclear missiles.
Yeah, I like
Yeah?
that a
Is
lot.
that did we
No.
develop that? Is that
No.
your new rebel buddies are just handing you nukes?
The Lolicons, whatever, they're like, hey, let us need some nukes.
Hey, look, you want us to take out corruption?
We're just gonna radiate it. Fuck.
I think
This-
that you get a
this is
lot of them
definitely
too.
how you'll
I
have the
definitely
best
do
part-
not want to play this game anymore. Thanks for spending the last 3 hours figuring this out.
Yep. The best part about it is nuclear missiles and ammo 5. You get 5.
You get 5 nukes.
Yeah.
That's
Class,
awesome.
Class of a particular hull shows the general size of the ship. Some fittings and weapons have a minimum hull class beneath which a ship is just too small to successfully install the hardware.
Okay. I assume
Oh, go ahead.
you know the difference between like the Reaper battery and the multifocal laser. So I'm deferring this all to our weapons specialist, Greg.
Well, I mean, I'm not giving you a good weapon. I'm just looking at particle cannon and going, that sounds like a laser like weapon to me. Right.
Yeah, that's when your bike race inevitably fails. You can just shoot
Right.
the people on their bikes.
Yeah, exactly. It's our blue shell. So, like, the multifocal laser is just a little tiny pew pew weapon. It's not going to do a lot,
Okay.
but just to have it is good. If you want a stronger weapon, you would want to put something else on.
Yeah, we can worry about it later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with a multifocal laser.
Honestly, if you were trying to min max, the best thing you could do is put nukes on the ship.
So
Yeah, we'll get nukes soon. Don't worry.
the other thing that multifocal laser does for you, I think, is
Shoot asteroids, maybe.
Yeah.
you a lot of the I'm having a hard time remembering because I haven't read everything about the weapons, but a lot of the weapons are just like you have to line your ship up to shoot, a lot like Greg was saying, like a actual naval battle. Whereas multifocal laser, you can point that in any fucking direction you want.
Oh yeah, that's actually a better idea.
Apparently, it also ignores armor or 20 armor.
Yeah.
I just looked at what the AP.
Yeah, it's
Armor
a
pen.
penetration weapon. It specifically is for gunning down ships.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's why its damage is like by far the lowest.
So you all could get some fighters to fuck off, because fighters only have like 8 HP and their AC is 16, which you completely ignore. Or I'm sorry, their armor is 5, which you completely ignore. Also, some
Yeah.
shuttles like you could fuck with.
I think it's good. It gives us options.
Yeah,
I like it.
and
We're not gonna
yeah.
get in a big pitched fight with a big ship. We're gonna
Yeah.
run away. But
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta have a weapon at your disposal.
We hear that some like corporation dude bigwig is like in a shuttle going from one place to another, and we can like cripple it
Right.
and then
Plus,
kidnap him or something.
Plus, I mean, given that you all have like probably one of the fastest ships in the system, or could compete as one of the fastest ships in the system, like they're not gonna assign you combat like naval combat missions. That's just it doesn't sound like that is necessarily going to be what interests us, both with this system, which their ship combat is a little rough, but also it seems like objectively we're hitting ourselves out to be focused on different things. And that's not to say you might like have to hold someone off for a few rounds to escape, some pirates that come fuck with you, or maybe the ship like is hanging out while everyone else is doing a job, and then the ship has to bug out or escape and then come back to pick up the crew. Like there might be some stuff like that. There's been lots of, I think, shows and movies where like we have the fast ship, not the best punching ship, but
we can be where we need to be.
Exactly.
Which is
exactly. Well, and especially with like your ability to spoof your or not your drive signature, but your transponder. That's like really, really useful to like the rebels, whoever they are.
What are we? The love bus? What did you call it?
I wrote it down.
SS, we're the SS Love Connection.
Love connection.
The greatest singles party bus in the entire sector. Just want to know.
Singles party bus.
Party bus.
We're not a patrol boat. We're a pleasure craft. Oh man!
Just don't hit the "It's your birthday" button.
I feel like you will need a bigger ship for that to be able to claim like. Because now it's
not
just
like a freaking cruise.
Now it's just like, yeah, we have room for 2 couples that want to swing, maybe 3.
We have room for like 20 people. Like we have more than a couple couples.
Wait, didn't it say the maximum crew size for a patrol? Oh, it's 20. I'm sorry, I thought it was
20.
10.
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry.
But that's 20 crew. That's like 20, barracks berths, not staterooms.
Oh man, that's funny.
Okay, maximum crew.
We could have extra luxury rooms. Okay, that's what matters.
All right,
that's a fitting.
Max crew refers to the maximum crew the life support system can sustain for 2 months.
Cool. I'm down with it.
John, on page 99, luxury cabins. Each time this fitting is selected, 10% of the ship's maximum crew gain access to luxury cabins of spaciousness sufficient to please a wealthy starfarer.
Ooh.
Brian, I noticed that I mentioned that in the notes I sent you for this ship, and you did not bring it up.
I didn't, because we were running out of power and mass, Nick.
Yeah, you all
it would
took
cost 8 power and 2 mass to get that in there.
You all have crew quarters as an upgrade in Scum and Villainy, and I wrote down luxury cabins.
I mean, if we want to do this, we'd have to go down to a drive like 4, and then maybe we have enough room.
I'm pretty happy with the ship as is. I think the cabins are probably good enough, unless they're very important to all of y'all.
In my Monday game, we have luxury cabins. So at one point we had just a obscene amount of money, and we just bought like champagne, and the GM was like, "Great, you all have champagne for life. Like, however much champagne that looks like, there are pallets in your storage." So everyone has champagne in their quarters that is perpetually iced. And all of the androids on board just like constantly serve champagne to people, and anytime anyone comes on board, they are immediately served champagne. It's a running bit. So that's what luxury quarters got us.
I like it.
All right.
Can we fill out some of the rest of the stuff for the ship?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Looking at the top left, cargo. What is that column? What is that box specified as?
Cargo.
We SS Retribution under name, Hope type patrol boat, frigate, cargo. Are we worried about operating cost and maintenance cost? Do I need to figure that out, or no?
I'm not worried about it. I don't care.
If that's the case, and we don't want to worry about it, I would like a narrative reason why we don't.
Why what?
And I think
why we don't care about money?
Yeah, I think, just operating costs.
Yeah.
And you said we have like a 2-month life support system.
I would like to semi-regularly go back to like rebel headquarters, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
So that they can do all the maintenance, because we're doing dangerous missions for them.
Sure.
And then we have like.
Good.
I'm sorry?
Finish.
Oh, that's essentially it. And then we have like a reason to connect with people, and then have some sort of semi-regular pit stop we can make to engage with like the real mission we're on.
Yeah.
Right.
So, sorry, I will figure out the answer to cargo. I think that's just a place to list, like, are you all carrying anything on board that is of note? And we could just put shuttle. Although we've previously described the ship as like needing it to be parked on the exterior of the ship rather than the interior. So maybe that's not appropriate.
We have the cargo lighter, so we have a cargo bay for a shuttle, essentially.
Yeah, I know in Scum and Villainy we didn't really have, or there is an upgrade for that we didn't have, but I'm also fine retconning that just to make it more convenient to load on and off of the shuttle.
Do we still have the U-Shut as well?
No, that was a temporary asset. You had to return that.
Okay.
Unless you want to fuck over your buddy, your contact.
Do we have one mass left?
We do not.
Okay, never mind.
The weapons took that.
What were you hoping to add with the last mass?
Oh, we were just talking about cargo being important. Cargo space is free on power and only costs one mass. So if we had like one mass, we could just slam that on and it would be done.
Oh, so you all don't really have room for cargo, it sounds like.
Sounds like we're kitted out for the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why we rented the U-Haul. Right?
That's why we rented the U-Haul. Yeah.
Is there any way to get more mass other than getting a bigger ship?
No.
No. Okay.
You could leave the shuttle behind.
And then we would have 2 free mass. That's an idea. Okay. So that's a way for us to gain mass to get something else, is to not take the shuttle. Okay.
Yeah.
Could we also say that as long as we have like a free hard point, we can just bolt one of those things to the outside of the ship like we described previously?
Well,
Hard points are specifically supposed to be a resource for certain types of attachments.
Right, I know. I was suggesting that as a sort of way we could fudge the narrative from our previous explanation into this world and make it make sense.
Andy, what are those things on the top of your car called? Like a tool?
Thule? Like the roof rack?
Yeah. Is that the brand? The Thule?
Thule is the brand.
Yeah. So like basically you all have hard points and you could have like Thules, like those little storage containers if you want to store small stuff. But if you want to add like a significant like haul, a pallet, like a huge cargo container full of like, I don't know, fuel or something, that would cost mass. You would have to drop something like a weapon or your cargo lighter.
Speaking of which, the last 2 things for our ship to kit out, last 3, fuel and life support. How do we deal with that?
Let's take a look. Let me go back to the rules for ship creation. Where was that? Drones, cyberware, artifacts, ships. Okay. Third, we've done fittings, weapons, and defenses. Third, decide how many crew members the ship will have. Most merchantmen run with no more than twice the minimum number of crew to save on wages. Warships rarely leave port with less than 75% of max crew allowed. Blah, blah, blah. On average, crew members cost 100 credits a day in wages plus 20 more for necessary food and stores. PCs naturally are unlikely to charge themselves wages, but they need to eat. Fourth, note down the 6-month maintenance cost of the ship, which is equal to 5% of its total non-crew cost. Did this break that down? It did not, so we'll need to add that up later. Oh, that must be the maintenance cost. Okay. If this fee isn't paid, a -1 penalty is applied to all skill checks and hit rolls related to the ship for each maintenance period skipped. Lastly, fill in a ship record for the craft, marking down the ship's statistics and attack bonuses, the speed of building or modifying a ship, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this didn't talk about, what were they? Life support and fuel.
Yep.
So fuel is generally considered for like FTL runs, like those spike drills we talked about. So basically, if you all are flying around a system, like, you know, hanging around Saber and just staying there, I will ignore fuel cost. But if you all are flying to a different star sector or star system, like to Rin, you know, like you did with the U-Shut, that would cost you a, you know, fuel, because it's a long trip. So let's go ahead and just give you all like a fuel.
1.
Sure.
Okay. What about life support? Do we know anything about that?
Life support.
Greg, have you dealt with life support in your game?
We didn't have a ship for most of it until I got one and put us in a black hole.
Until I love that you specified until I got one and put us in a black hole. Smaller. Okay, so I think because you all are not maxing out the crew, we don't have to worry about it. Like, it will be able to sustain you. Extended life support is a mod that will double maximum crew size. Extended stores maximum life support duration is doubled. Hydroponic production ship produces life support resources. So, I mean, are you all going to be spending a lot of time just in space and never touching somewhere with an atmosphere?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, so I'm not keen to worry about it. Again, this system, and in the fiction that it provides, assumes a lot of exploration and interstellar travel that can be really... that can spend a lot of time in space, but I don't think we're very focused on that in our fiction. So I don't want to worry about it, if that's okay with y'all.
Yep.
And that's just me as a player of games. I tend not to focus too hard on the crunchy stuff. But if any of you find that stuff really fun and interesting, like, please speak up, because if you are interested in it, we can, you know, gamify it and make it interesting and appropriate for our fiction. But I don't like to sweat
doing a quick Google search, and I think that it's just math. So the max crew is 20. We have enough life support to sustain them for 2 months, right? So
for a max crew, yeah.
We effectively have 40 life support, right? So if we have 10 crew, right, and we have enough to sustain them for longer.
Okay. So it basically is just like, how many months can we sustain our current crew?
Yeah, I think it's, yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Let's not worry about it then, if that's okay, because I'm
looking at the like questions that people have about it via my search, and that seems to be the like answer.
Yeah. I don't plan on putting you all in a position where you're gonna have to worry about being in space for 20 months or anything like that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Do you want me at some point to go through and figure out pricing? Because there are mods we can add that's based on the price of the ship, or do you just want to say this mod is going to be 100,000 credits if you want to? Let you set the price.
I'm inclined to not care, but John did bring up that he is interested in like visiting Rebel Base or whatever, visiting someone, maybe a patron every now and then. I normally would be inclined to just be like, you know what, they can pay the cost for you. But I've been watching Andor, and I'm really intrigued by it, and I'm not going to spoil anything. So maybe it is interesting that you'll have to find your own funding. What do you think? Is finding your own funding interesting to you all as storytellers, or no?
I don't want everything to be handed to me, but if we're gonna hand wave things you don't care about, there should be a narrative reason for it.
Yes. Okay.
I don't want to get lost in the minutia of taking jobs that have nothing to do with the story at all because we mechanically need money.
Sure.
That's not what I'm into.
Okay.
How about this? Our rebels can modify our ship, but if we want a mod, we come to them and ask, and they're like, that's fine. But in order to do it, we need you to do this for us. We want ship mods, we got to do jobs for them.
I'm going to leave that up to Nick. I don't have a preference.
I think that makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, hey, like I can sell you this thing, or you can do a job for me and it's free. That kind of like exchange between rebels. Like stuff still costs money and people still have mouths to feed and you know, a rebellion to fund. It's not easy.
Maybe that way, if we want like another thing on our ship, like luxury cabins, we can get a ship mod that maybe takes our drive upgrade and lowers the power needed or lowers the mass needed for it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can afford to put something else on our ship.
Yeah.
Like we're pretty kitted out, so there's not a whole lot we're gonna be able to do for it. So it wouldn't be too many. Won't be like 7 jobs to get it done, taking away from the story. It would be 1. It's like a side quest.
Yeah, I like that. I like there being like narrative reason for being able to just ignore the rules. John, would you agree that we don't have to worry about life support? If we're gonna be...
I don't care about that. I don't even know what that is to care about it.
Yeah, it's like how many months can we last without like touching a space that has fresh oxygen?
From what I understand, we have
and water.
Made a cross-sector trip in like 4 days of narrative time, so I'm not too worried about the months.
Yes, I'm not either.
Last ship question, and then I'm done.
Okay.
Are we hand waving the fact that we have 4 of us on the crew and the minimum crew is 5? Or are we
We're
adding
gonna
an
pay
NPC
for
to our
crew
ship?
probably.
Okay.
Because you don't want to run the crew on minimum if you don't have to, right? You're gonna run at like 10 or 15 crew.
Do we want ship NPCs?
Or okay, so Nick says no, so yes, we're hand waving it away, which is just fine too. This will be our own personal ship.
Okay, so we've got some threads we can pull on here. You all handed away your AI, the robot. You gave that to Vorix. There's a couple of things I can hand you all as part of joining a rebel alliance. They can hand you like hey, we've got this young buck, you know, ideological rebel kid, like who's writing his own manifesto. Do you want him to join your ship, or would you like to go break Brucius Holloway, terrorist wizard hacker, out of prison? We could really use him in the alliance, and you could really use him on your ship. If you all don't want to focus hacking skills yourselves, we can just have this NPC that does it for you. Or your good friend Mouse, who got caught helping you all break out of jail. He also went to the Max prison. You could like bring him with you after you break Brucius out, and he works for the rebels, and you get Mouse. Like, are there any NPCs anyone's interested in working with?
Working with Mouse might be a nice continuity. We could also make that like our first arc is finding our missing crew member.
Oh, yeah. I guess, is there like a hole anyone sees needing filled, so I can either like work an NPC that we've already met into that hole or create a new one?
What do you think?
Like an administrator, or I just gonna look at the skills.
We seem pretty diversified in our skills, other than administrator
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
What about like a
Does somebody-
scientist? If you all are going up against
somebody have a no
Aphrodite.
skill. Yeah, that's about. Or the fact that we have no psychic ability in our crew. Yeah, eventually we're gonna have Dax doing that, but I don't know if there's a need for that. Maybe later.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah,
I don't know if we want ship NPC that we constantly have to deal with or not.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that up to you guys.
I mean, I could also be like, they hand you a VI chip that's like, hi, I'm an app. I can handle a lot of ship things that normally, without it, someone would have to do.
I think that might be a good option.
I can put food in the microwave for you, Norm. How'd you like that?
All right, no, I'd get super annoyed with this, actually. I'd rather deal with an NPC.
Lettuce. Norm didn't eat his food. Would you like it?
I'm on board with this. Can we have this VI chip?
Yeah, I like Nick as our snarky robot.
Okay.
Yeah, this just made my day. I had no dog in this fight until you started doing the voice, and then I loved it.
Sonny, I noticed
I've upped our crew to 5. What's the name of our VI?
Oh shit! This is important.
Apollo.
Rey Mysterio.
Apollo.
What did you say, John?
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. Wait, what is Rey Mysterio? Oh, is that a
He's
that a
the
wrestler?
we were talking about in the
God.
pre-show.
I like Apollo. Siri is also, suggested by Beth in the chat.
Except if I say
so-
that, it's gonna activate people's like phones and shit.
Good. Punish them for having that
Good.
silly feature activated on their phone. No, I'm just kidding.
Now I want it to be called Hey Silly.
There you go.
Hey, silly.
It did. It activated Bets. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey Silly, order me 100 dolls.
I actually, Nick, this can be a why don't you let the VI pick its own name?
Yeah, anybody in chat have a good name for the VI? How about that?
AI name
I don't know.
generator. Artificial intelligence names. Okay, this list has Enigma, Thought. That no, we're not gonna do Hey Thought.
No.
Witness, Holmes,
Ooh.
Fruit. No.
Oh shit! What was the name of the sexy battle wizard from Dungeon World?
Which one? There were many.
Francois.
The one in John's head, Francois.
Francois.
Francois
No,
the
don't make
Abundant.
Should we call it Frank?
I don't want to meta.
Should we call it
So he
Frank?
was- Wait, so he was Francois the Abundant. You could be Abundance or something like that, with a fucking Z or something.
Hmm.
Maybe not.
I like abundance. Hey, Bundy.
Bundy?
He did.
Okay, we're gonna
Bundy.
call it Bundy.
Bundy it is.
Bundy.
It sounds like Buddy.
Hey, Sonny,
What
it's
was-
Bundy. I noticed that the water cooler was getting low, so I replaced it. Are you feeling thirsty? Fresh water, available now. Dax, I noticed you haven't been sleeping well. Would you like some medication? I can prescribe something.
Oh, man, that'd be great.
And
There you go.
All
it's
right.
just gonna interrupt scenes with just like, hey, do you need me to do this useless thing?
I love it.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect.
I've added it into the notes for the ship. VI Bundy, super annoying, Nick robot voice, triggers John, the rest of us approve. We're good.
Yeah.
Good. Let me suffer.
I think Norm has to have just says snooze out loud every once in a while as soon as Nick starts talking. It's just gonna just stop.
Volume
Just
0.
rip the speakers out of a wall. Just going insane.
Yeah, it's definitely like Clippy. Beth, thank you. I'm writing that down. Bundy.
It looks like you're trying
Clippy.
to evade a star battle.
Like Clippy, but almost useful. All right, that's what I wrote down.
I like it.
Nice.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
I think our ship
Alright.
is now done, guys.
You got a ship and a crew.
We do. We have a ship
Wonderful.
and crew in Stars Without Number. So one of the hallmarks of this system is that you can generate like sector maps that are very interactable. If you go to the website Sectors Without Number, it's really, really great. However, our system is taking place in one sector, and it doesn't support creating just planets and suns. So I'm just gonna port over the map that we have from our other game, and I'm not gonna worry too much about like making a hex grid, since we know all of the planets and we know a bit about each of them already. Okay. So that's all from us today. Thank you for joining us for this kind of different episode that didn't have a break. I'm sorry, players. I just realized that I blew past our break time, but here we are. So we'll be back next week with another adventure. We will be talking offline about what that will look like. I think I want to involve the players a bit more in what exactly they're going to be doing and how this like connection with a rebellion, what that looks like, especially since I wanted to ask about which faction or factions might be involved in that. And get some input on that. So we'll do that all offline. But in the meantime, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day and week. Do we have any shout outs before we go?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Andy, how was Drawtober?
Lovely. 31 days up, 31 days down.
I saw
Nice.
your.
Go to Andaruga Hutzimer on Instagram and check it out.
It is Andaruga Hutzimer. That is exactly how I have pronounced it, and thank you for confirming that for me.
You want to throw that in the Twitch?
He's not
No,
going
need
to.
to spell that out.
No. They can spell it right if they want to find
You remember in the early aughts when it was like you have to go actually look for things on the internet? They don't just like come to
All
you.
You guys are you're stonewalling Andy's art, and now I'm sad. I wanted to give you a thumbs up on Instagram, but now I won't.
I like to do really passive, useless gatekeeping to my own artwork if possible. So
I respect and understand.
like
Andy's not in this for the small dopamine hits. He's in it for the big ones
yeah.
that will take years to manifest.
Mhm.
All right. We'll see everyone next week. Have a good one. And of course, as always, tell everyone you've ever met about our show. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.